Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Friends You Can Keep podcast. Why did you laugh at that?
Because it made it.
Oh, that. Oh, you're laughing at my soda.
No, I had a.
What?
The bowl?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what they're called. I know what you're talking about.
Tibetan something?
Though.
Sound bowls?
Welcome back to the show. As I said, Happy President's Day. Didn't realize till I was writing my notes down. This episode goes out on President's Day. I know that doesn't really mean anything for us, but
I don't think it means anything for anyone.
It doesn't mean anything for anybody, but I meant in terms of the show. Like, we're not doing some special thing. It does kind of lead me in, though. I thought of this looking through Facebook, just scrolling through Facebook, being after the Super Bowl or whatever. And I don't know what I saw that made me think of that in comparison to some past years. So I have a would you rather scenario for you. I know my answer. Would you rather continue to have the continuous coverage of Taylor Swift that we have been involved in for the majority of the football season, and then the Grammys, and then the Super Bowl, and it is continuing on with her album coming out and all the other stuff happening with her?
Oh.
Or
and I killed the bug.
Would you prefer to go back to when we had continuous coverage of Donald Trump?
Honestly, I don't know, because most of the stuff that I actually watch, she's not there. Like, she's not.
Yeah.
But it was the same way. Like, I don't follow enough stuff like on social media to get a lot of politics, so I didn't really.
Well, see, the issue I think with Trump is because I don't follow a lot of political things, so you would think I wouldn't. But I think where the issue comes in, and like as controversial of a statement as it is, I think the reason I still see it is because not just because he was the president, but because he is a reality television star. People can say he was a businessman. Above all else, the man was a celebrity.
I mean,
he was a reality television
It's
star.
not wrong to say he was a businessman. That's also
no,
true.
It's not incorrect, but it's not. When people think Donald Trump, they don't think businessman. They think The Apprentice.
I never watched it.
Or The Celebrity Apprentice.
Well, the only reason
or WWE Hall of Famer.
But on The Apprentice, the whole point is that he was a businessman. So
yeah, but even on the show, because I watched the show, he didn't do business.
Right.
You went to Trump Tower. He had you do a bunch of shit, and then you came back at the end. Your teammates all critiqued like how well one person did or how shitty some other person did.
And
then
fired.
Ivanka would say something, or Eric or Don or whoever, like the guest, judge people were. It was always like his kids or somebody else.
Of course it was, because nobody.
Or a former contestant. It was always like that.
It was that lady.
And in the end, it was,
you're fired.
You're fired.
I don't know.
I mean, I also didn't watch The Apprentice. I watched Celebrity Apprentice. That's the only one I watched. And I didn't watch it for him. I watched it for celebrities. Worse. I watched it for celebrities that I liked. But then you got that. But then you got the crazy season, like when Gary Busey was on. Because then it's just him every week with his weird, like. Because his whole thing is like he just takes a word that's a normal word, but makes it into a weird fucking acronym. It's just him being batshit crazy on TV.
Well, because he had an accident, a motorcycle accident.
Well, he had a motorcycle accident a long time ago.
Yeah, and then he got addicted to painkillers.
Well, he's on all kinds of shit.
Because he was on Celebrity Rehab. Yeah. He just did the circuit, you know.
He's doing tons of stuff.
He did the circuit.
I think Dennis Rodman was on.
I think he was also on Celebrity Rehab.
Flavor Flav? No. He wasn't on Celebrity Apprentice. Lil Jon, I think, may have been on Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh my god.
Lil Jon was definitely on Celebrity Apprentice.
Weird.
Penn from Penn and Teller was on. I'm trying to think of like who all I watched.
Mute?
No, that's Teller.
Oh.
Penn Jillette is the big tall atheist.
So which one would you pick? Donald Trump or Taylor Swift?
I would pick Taylor Swift. And I would pick Taylor Swift for the sake of, number one, I mean, I could give a fuck about either one of them. But number one, what she's doing isn't affecting my day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what he was doing wasn't really affecting my day-to-day life, but it affects the day-to-day lives of people I know and people I love.
Yeah. Well, it
And
was like it
it's
had a
not,
chance
and it's
of,
not a great stance to have in 2024. But I'm also like, I think we need to go back a little bit to a time of ignorance is bliss.
yeah.
So when it came to him being the president,
Yeah, we knew too much.
I think we didn't like, and people say, oh, well, we weren't like that for Obama, and it wasn't like that. It hasn't been like that for Biden. And it's like, well, of course they're not, because
They're not doing it.
they weren't celebrities before they became the president, number one. Number two, their Twitter account is being handled by some White House staffer, and it's being updated like
Now and
however
then.
however often, and it's like just a shared news article. It's like, here's a press briefing.
Yeah.
It's not Joe Biden on his personal Twitter, just like, man, these Grammys really suck. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's like we don't I just want to think about like I don't want to think about the president doing like normal stuff.
But I
Even though
think
know
not just because, like I said, I think not just because of the president, but because of the celebrity of it all. Everything Donald Trump did was news.
Yeah, I mean,
and you can't say, oh, well, I was only your leftist media. It wasn't. It was left and right. It got spun different ways, but Fox News covered it the same way CNN covered it. It was just continuous, nonstop coverage,
where I'm like,
all the time.
I don't care that he took a shit today, okay? Honestly, I don't.
I don't care that whatever football team went there, or basketball team, wherever the fuck went there, and he offered them McDonald's. Like,
like there's a lot of details.
From a comedy standpoint, sure, I'll listen to that on the Daily Show, but like, I don't need 4 different articles from 4 different news sources on Facebook.
Yeah, it was too many like minute details that,
like I said, it was everything the man did, and I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it was just too much.
But again, is the media to blame? Sure, but also he's to blame. It's the same.
I mean, it's the same with her.
It's the same thing of like Kim Kardashian tells paparazzi when she's going to land at the airport. I think
Taylor Swift
so they can be there. I have no idea, but my point is, for him, it was the same thing. Like, he was bringing it on just as much as anybody else.
Do you think celebrities all do? It's just that Kim was like open about it.
I think it's no. I don't think all of them do.
No, not like all the ones that you see. Like,
I think we've also gotten very well. I don't know. I feel like that craze kind of peaked and has now started to die down again.
Well, because of social media, you don't need a paparazzi, because like I could be out there, and I could leak it. So like that as a career is sort of.
I think because of social media, you had more people being vocal of like, leave these people alone,
and also the celebrities doing it themselves.
Like you going, but I think celebrities have always been doing it themselves. Of like, leave me the fuck alone.
No, I mean like they're posting their own.
Oh yes.
Like they're leaking.
My point is in terms of like.
Oh yeah.
That aspect. You've always had celebrities doing it, but then with the emergence of Instagram and Twitter and all this other shit, you had a fan base that was then backing them up. Like, leave these fucking people alone.
But like,
your Kim Kardashians, the people that want it, fine. But like, I don't know, when fucking, I don't even know, when Ewan McGregor's out with his fucking kids, like, just let him walk around with his fucking kids. Like, leave the guy alone.
And sometimes you see them, I think at one point you had like, there was just a really, like, there was a relationship between like paparazzi and celebrities where like, I know you're just trying to get a picture of me like out here, so I'm gonna stop. Hi, how are you? Yep, I'm out here. Whatever.
Well, the problem is
then they moved along, and the celebrities the paparazzi took the pictures, and they didn't like.
But the problem
jump
is,
on their car and chase them down.
But the problem is too, I think in that aspect, I think it has gotten worse because of social media. Well, because now you have independent people
chasing them down,
that are chasing them down for pictures to sell or trying to get autographs, and like you're getting a lot more of that.
Really, do you think you're really getting paid that much?
It depends on the picture, because they did that. Morgan Spurlock on his CNN, the guy who did Supersize Me, he did a series on CNN that was him doing different jobs, and one of them was a paparazzi, and you get paid depending on the celebrity, depending on the picture.
And like who else is in it?
That varies your rate of what you get paid.
Well, it's the same as like if you.
But you're seeing a lot more of the like, can you sign this? And then it goes right on eBay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like there was that video a couple of years ago that I told you about. I think it was Billy Joel, where like
Yeah.
they were hounding him for autographs, and the lady's like, "Oh, can you sign this baseball for whatever her fucking like sob story was?" And I forget why they blew her off. It was something with a pen.
Wasn't it like also he would only sign one thing per person?
Well, the security guy was telling like you get one thing signed, and some fucking lady was like, she got whatever signed, and then she like quick out of nowhere pulled this baseball or something out. Like, oh, can you sign this for my son or for my brother or my husband, whoever the fuck it was? And he signed it. And this lady on the end is like, well, you signed 2 for her. And I'm like, are you 6 years old?
Yeah.
One of them, I think, was a marker. Like, he had a coffee in his hand, and I forget what they wanted him to do. And he's like, well, I can't, like, I'm not putting my coffee down to sign your fucking shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just like
Because you're not at a meet and greet. You're not, like, you're hounding me outside of my hotel room.
No.
Like, it's bullshit. It's funny because CM Punk used to complain about that, and people used to jump up his ass about it. I mean, he was that comment from him was very divisive because he used to complain about, like, don't come up to me at 3 o'clock in the morning at the fucking airport.
Well, sure.
And ask me to sign shit. Don't send your kid over to me at 4 o'clock in the morning at the airport and ask me to sign stuff for him. Because I know it's not for him.
Yeah.
I know you're fucking taking it and you're putting it right on fucking eBay, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I have headphones in. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, read the room.
And then it was the whole discourse of like, you should treat your fans better. And then people were like, but you're not listening to him. He's not talking about fans. He's talking about people trying to make a fucking quick buck off of it.
But it's also, if you were really a fan,
you wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't be asking for an autograph. You would just, like, maybe.
Well, you might, depending on how it went, but you would start with just like a hey.
Yeah.
Like you would start with just a simple acknowledgement. If it moved, like if you did for whatever have a conversation, you might then say like, hey, can I get a picture? Hey, can you sign this? Like, but you're not immediately coming out the gate.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you sign this for me?
Yeah, like I think you would be more just like, oh my God, it's whoever.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It might get there, but you're not starting there.
Yeah.
You're starting with just a simple like,
I don't know. I think I've only ever like run into 2 like celebrities in my whole life.
I've run into
and they like
0.
Like legitimately just.
I'm really mad because I did see, I don't know if I ever told this story on here before or not. I probably did. When we went to Disney 2 years ago. 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. I did see Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, who are, for people that don't know, they're wrestlers, in Hollywood Studios. And I was like, I mean, I wouldn't have said anything to him, probably.
They're just like a, hey.
Like acknowledgement kind of thing. But like he walked past us going into Toy Story Land. And I'm like, I'm 99% certain that was Johnny Gargano. And then like 2 or 3 days later, he had up on Instagram, like, oh, we were at Hollywood Studios. And I'm like, God damn it, that was him.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. I was in Center City, just like walking from like Center City to where the Liberty Bell is. And we were right by a bank. And all of a sudden, out of like a blacked out SUV, Andre Iguodala just, and we were like, oh my God. And we just said like, hey, how are you? Like, we love you. And then he was like, oh, thanks. And then we're like, would you mind if you took a picture? He's like, yeah. And I tried to take a selfie. You know how tall that guy is? He's like, you want me to do it? I'm like, probably, because it's just me and your crotch right now. This is what we're seeing in this photo. It took everything I had not to do that. Iguodala, but I didn't.
The closest I had to meet, like, having some sort of passing, because I'm trying to think if I ever
didn't ask for an autograph.
I don't think I've ever had anything with any sort of celebrity that was, I guess, like coincidental like that. Yeah. The closest I would have been was when Preston Elliott was at Julian Allen's wedding.
Yeah, and like I don't know if
you I did think about going over because at that point, with going to work, I was listening to their show like every day. So I thought like very hard about going over and just saying like, hey, fan of the show, like whatever.
I think people were.
Oh, I'm sure people were because he is a local celebrity.
Yeah, it's just like it's such a delicate thing because like you want
when you're at a wedding, like I'm not running into you at like
right in the street,
a street or a bar somewhere. It's not an MMR event. Like you're at someone's wedding, so it's a weird thing of like do I go up to you and like, hey, fan of the show,
I think
just
maybe,
wanted to
like,
say hey. Like,
in-
I don't think he would have cared.
No, and I think in that sort of situation, like, that's one of those where, like, all you just say, like, hello.
Well, it is. I think it is a strange thing too, because like I said, they are local celebrities, but I also don't think that they carry themselves like they're
No.
hot shit.
No, because he didn't walk. He walked in there like any other guest.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like.
If you didn't know he was there, you wouldn't have known he was there.
No, and people weren't really like crowding around him
No.
either. Like, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what he looked like.
Yeah.
But I think you just need to read the room.
The only celebrity interaction I ever had was when I met Bret Hart at a book signing.
And those are awkward. I've never done that. But
well, first of all, it was at Virgin Records in Disney Springs, back when it still was Virgin Records. It's now Splitsville.
Oh, I didn't know that's what that was.
Nowhere does it say.
Oh, you didn't buy the book.
It was a bookstore on the first floor, and the second floor was records and DVDs and CDs and stuff like that. I think that's how it was split. Well, nowhere does it say that you have to buy the book. It was just a book signing. And I bought the DVD because the DVD is the same thing as the book. This is the biography on paperback. This is the biographical, like, documentary. Same thing. So I bought it. Well, then as you get closer to the front, the guy's like, oh, have your stuff out for him to sign. Like, they were putting Post-it notes, like, where people wanted him to sign and what they wanted him to say, what they wanted it to say. And I had my DVD, and they're like, do you have the book? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, well, you have to buy the book to get an autograph. And I'm like, first of all, fuck you. Like, I bought this here.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it with me.
Yeah. You would think that would just...
Once everyone was like, well, he bought that. And like, nope, you have to buy the book. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go down fucking stairs and buy it. And at that point, I had been in line so long that I was like friends with the people around me.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of me was like, because he already had the book, but you had to buy it there to be able to get the autograph. So he had to buy a copy. He was like, I have a copy in my car. I'll run to my car and get it. And then you can just tell him you bought it.
Yeah.
Or no, they were still there. I think he said, like, I have a copy in my car. If I go get the book from my car, can he just use that? Because he bought the DVD here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, that's fine. If you have the book in your car, run out and get it. He can use that book. And I think I offered him money. I think I offered, like, what do you want this signed? Then I'll just give the book back to you. And he was like, no, keep it. He's like, I already have the book. I had to buy it for this. Yeah. So, like, I don't need two of them.
Yeah. Well, you were younger, so I'm sure he was just like...
And what's worse is I ended up getting the DVD, like, insert thing. I got signed for a friend of mine who I'm no longer friends with.
Well, then.
I know. Well, and looking back, like, I met him because I like wrestling, but, like, I don't really care for Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart's a fucking asshole.
Well,
but I met him. He signs my book. We made, like, whatever. How are you? Good. How's your day? What, like, whatever. Very awful, minimal, casual conversation, because he is a man who clearly does not give a fuck about anybody. Doesn't want to talk to anybody. Signs the book. Slides it back. Signs the book. Slides it back. Enjoy the book. Thanks. You too. And I'm like, the second I turned around, I'm like, God damn it. The second I turned around, I was like, son of a bitch.
I've never done any of those where, like, I don't think.
You definitely have. Everyone has done it at least once to a waiter.
No, I mean the book signing.
Oh, book signing. I thought you meant, like, the thanks you do.
No, I think I do it every time I would buy movie tickets. Enjoy the film. Thank you, you too.
Yeah.
Every time.
You probably do it at every restaurant you go to.
No.
Enjoy your meal. Thanks, you too.
No, it's not like a knee-jerk reaction to
or you're at, like, a Red Robin and the fucking waitress comes over and you're like, oh my God, this burger.
No, that was...
Compliments to the chef. My goodness. And
PJ Williams. It was PJ Williams.
And that waitress is like, I could give a fuck about your burger.
It was a steak. And I was like, lady, I just had like 4 beers. All right, what do you want from me?
You were just unloading on this woman about how great your meal was. My compliment. Can you bring the chef out, please?
Yeah,
that'd be great if you could bring him out. I would like to talk to him, shake his hand. And they're like, fuck off, lady. Just eat
Maybe she thought I was being sarcastic, even though I was not.
No, she definitely knew you were being genuine, but she was like, I don't fucking
Sometimes
care.
they do. It's so hard
She's
to
like,
know.
I don't care. Go on Yelp and leave your review on there.
No, that's not for me.
Speaking of public interactions at restaurants and such, I have two that qualify under that. My first question is this. We were doing a job over the summer. Right across the street was a turkey hill. We're doing this guy's pool. Can't use the bathroom in the house. So I go across the street to use the bathroom at Turkey Hill. And I said, like, oh, I'm going to run across the street quick and use the bathroom. Where? I'm like, at the Turkey Hill. Literally right across the street. Do they have a bathroom? I'm like, pretty sure.
So.
Oh, I didn't think they did. I'm like, I don't know. Went in, they had bathroom, I went and used it. That was my dad. We were at that job in Boyertown, Turkey Hill right across the street. I had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm gonna run across the street and use the bathroom quick at lunchtime. And my dad ran out earlier.
He probably went to Wawa.
And he went to Wawa. And
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, why didn't you just go across the street? And Jacob said then, like, well, do they have a bathroom? And I'm like, I would think so. I don't know why they wouldn't. And then at lunchtime, I said, I'm gonna run across the street quick and use the bathroom. All right. Let me know if they have one or not, because if not, we'll just run out and
you could have just walked across the bridge to my parents'
go
house.
somewhere. Well, we were going to go to your parents
I know.
for lunch, and I don't know why that didn't happen. But whatever. I went over, and now granted, the one up in, I don't know where the fuck that other one was. That one had like a men's room and a ladies' room. It was two separate bedrooms.
Yeah.
The one in Boyertown
It's really small.
is clearly it was a closet that they converted into a bathroom.
Oh.
Because it is literally, here's a doorway, here's the bathroom door. All of this to your right is just like where all the staff hangs out.
Yeah.
And like where the security cameras are. And then there's the bathroom.
It probably, or
so it was either the staff bathroom they made public, or because it is the size of a closet.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
you have to close the door to use the bathroom.
That whole Turkey Hill isn't very big.
But then I'm like, no, it's not.
It's like the quarter size of
most
Wawa.
of the Turkey Hills aren't that big. But in my mind, I'm like, are Turkey Hills having a bathroom a new thing? I just assumed that they always had bathrooms.
But a lot of times, like...
Because, like, you're a gas station and a convenience store.
Not all of them do. Like, not...
Most of them do.
But look at, like, when you drive from here to Delaware, those gas stations, like, on the side of the road, it's a convenience store, but they do not have a bathroom.
Where?
On the highway once you get where the lights are. And you pass, like, a gas station that's not a, like, name brand. Like, it's just...
How do you know you don't have a bathroom?
Because I've stopped at them. I stopped at least 2 of them. Going to Ocean City, Maryland.
I don't know.
Not all gas stations. It's like, it's not guaranteed. But, like, I would think that Turkey Hill
I think the majority of them do. Because, like, Sunoco's have them. Wawa's have them. Turkey Hills have them.
If they have a big, like, convenience, like Sunoco has a big convenience store, so of course they do.
You're talking about some roadside bullshit that they sell gas for double the price and they have discount cigarettes inside. No. You're not talking about like a legit convenience store and gas station.
But they usually, you can go in and they have like some snacks and some drinks.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they'll have like the bathroom around the back.
Yeah.
Like there's not much inside, but a lot of them don't.
We drove to...
Or like they don't have that bathroom anymore.
We drove to... I think it was driving...
Maybe it's COVID.
Was it driving to Disney? Is it driving to Disney or driving to Maryland? I'll have to ask, because this story is legend. This is part of the Lightcap lore at my house. My mom had to go to the bathroom, so we stopped. I think she went in, no bathroom. Well, there's 2 porta potties outside. I'm pretty sure this was in Delaware. I don't know where in Delaware, but I think it was in Delaware. We were at like the gas pump, and the fucking porta potties are a minimum of like 20 feet away. Minimum 20 feet away from us. She opens the door. You can see from the car that porta potty looked like a fucking bomb went off. Like, there was shit everywhere.
Someone probably tipped it.
She opened the door and literally just turned around and walked right back to the car. She was like, nope, we gotta stop somewhere else. We were all laughing hysterically because literally you could see it from the car. You could see the inside of the porta potty and what a nightmare it was from the car. We were all just laughing.
See, like some gas
But that
stations-
wasn't like a.
if it has a convenience store that's like big enough where they sell hot dogs, then they probably have a bathroom.
Yeah, because you gotta get rid of the hot dog.
But like I don't know if 7-Elevens do or not.
I have no.
Does 7-Eleven have gas?
Well, in the West Coast they do.
But ours don't.
Because remember there was that conversation of whatever Mythical did, and they talked about 7-Eleven being a gas station. And I'm like, 7-Eleven's not a fucking gas station, it's just a convenience store.
I always like
there's not a 7-Eleven I've ever seen that has gas.
but in my mind, a 7-Eleven is a gas station. Even though
it's a convenience store.
Yeah, but it's a gas station. Convenience store.
No,
we just don't have gas.
To me, it's the equivalent of the Quickie Mart in The Simpsons.
Yeah, but I just always associate those with gas stations, not like.
Well, I get it because they're usually attached to a gas station.
Yeah.
But 7-Eleven in
Around
my
here.
lifetime that I've
Around
ever
here.
seen are not.
No. Although a lot of them around here, I only know of one. It has like the parking lot that they use.
The one I know of is no longer a 7-Eleven.
There's one in Norristown, I think.
There was one on High Street, which is no longer a 7-Eleven.
Is it a bank?
No, it's now at the beer distributor. No. Yeah. Yes, because it's next to the Popeyes, and the beer distributor used to be across the street next to the McDonald's, and they moved across the street to where 7-Eleven was. I'm
like
pretty
the one
sure.
Here, like just an old shitty building, and they just rebuilt across the street,
and then
they
there's one in Stowe, or at least there was. Again, I couldn't tell you the last time I was down that way, but
they're just not prevalent around here.
No, well, I think Wawa put them all out of business.
Yeah, maybe no, but
because that one on High Street was put out of business by Wawa.
I just don't. I don't really ever remember seeing one as a kid.
Yeah, there was
as an adult, there was one.
I forget the guy who owned it. Ragish, is that his name?
There was another.
We knew the guy who owned the one on High Street. And it was funny because he had parties at the skating rink, and the one time Linda and she was smoking, and I would hang out with her in the parking lot because that's just what we did. He came out. What the fuck was his ringtone? Because it was hysterical. Like, he was an older Indian guy, but just like, I don't know, just seemed very to himself, whatever. What the fuck was his ringtone? I think when he came out of the building and his phone started to ring, the song you heard, and this also tells you what decade, what time frame this was in my life, according to age. The song you heard when his phone started ringing was, "I don't know what you heard about me, but y'all just can't get $1 out of me. I'm a motherfucking PIMP." That was his ringtone, and Linda and I laughed and laughed.
I do know that in King of Prussia there's a 6-Eleven. It was near where I used to work.
Open 6 days a week, 11 hours a day.
I don't know.
Yeah, speaking on that thing, I went to Sonic for lunch today. I pull in, I'm 99% certain. I mean, they couldn't have been. But where this Jeep came from that was in front of me, so to get into, for those of you that don't live around us, to get into the Sonic, you come into the parking lot. You have to go through a bunch of parking spaces for the urgent care and the karate place.
The VA. No, Social Security.
Social Security's there, but there's a parking lot for a ton of businesses, and then the Sonic is over here. You have to go through this parking lot. It's a one-way lane.
Yeah.
To get to the drive-thru. Well, I immediately come off of High Street, or come off of Ridge, come in, turn right, and then immediately turn right again and go that way.
Yeah.
They had to have gone all the way to the end and turned at the building. Because when I came up to them, it looked like they were coming out of the drive-thru.
Oh.
Like they had gotten food.
Uh-huh.
Well, then they got back in the drive-thru line, and I'm like, didn't you just come from the fucking drive-thru?
They got lost.
But I don't know. They get in front of me, driving slow as all hell, which I'm not like flying through a drive-thru, but they're like barely moving the gas pedal. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? When they get up there, can I get like a 3-piece tenders? I don't want the meal though, I just want the chicken. Okay, anything else? And I forget what drink she got. Some blast thing.
And they got a bag of ice.
And then she goes, this is something I've never heard before. I've been to tons of fast food restaurants. I've never heard a question like this in a drive-thru before. What's that thing on the sign when you come around the building in the picture?
What?
It looks like, and she's like describing it, and the girl's like, where is it? And she's like, oh, it's when you come around the building, it's blah, blah, blah. And the girl's like, the chocolate covered strawberry shake? No, it's and she's like, and then I don't know what, if she like put it on the screen. I don't know what the fuck she did. Then the lady's like, oh, well, she's got it right there. And she's like, yeah, it's the chocolate covered strawberry. It's a milkshake. Oh.
She was hoping for chocolate covered strawberries in the Sonic drive-thru?
No, I think she thought it was because she said about it being a blast again or whatever the fuck they're
like
called. So I don't think she expected it
like
to be.
They're Blizzard.
I don't think she expected it to be a milkshake.
But that's what that is.
But she said it, and there was a long pause, and then she's like, "Did you want to try that?" Or she's like, "Yeah, I guess just give us a small." And the lady's like, "Okay." I think she said, "Pull around for your total." Well, then she's just like sitting there, sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I hear her go, well, you didn't add the strawberry thing. I'm like, sitting there. No one answered because I'm like, she's fucking done. Your conversation has ended. Pull the fuck around and tell her out the window. But like, sat there. Then she finally like very slowly creeps around the thing. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Old lady? No. It was two people. It was like two people, front seat and driver's seat, in a two-door Jeep. The back thing had a like in loving memory, 1966 to 2023, 2022. I forget what it was. In like a Harley Davidson logo with wings, and I'm like, so did he die in a motorcycle crash?
Yeah, or did he just love motorcycles?
Or was he just big into Harley Davidsons?
I have a lot of questions.
But then I leave, so I pull up an order. They get their food, fucking snail's pace, pull away from the drive-thru. I pull up, drink, bag, leave. I leave and come around the building.
They're still gone.
They went, first of all, when you leave the drive-thru, you're supposed to go to the left only. It is a one-way lane. They leave the drive-thru, go to the right.
Of course. They
go down the first set of spaces, parking spaces for the parking lot. I come around the side. They're just sitting at the end of those parking spaces.
Eating?
I think they're like looking through the bag. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just sitting there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you lost in general? Like, what's happening? Yeah. But it was strange. And I felt I had to share because I have never heard someone pull around a building at a fast food restaurant and go like, oh, what's the thing on that sign over there? Like, what? It blew my mind.
That's like when you go to Starbucks.
Because also, I've been to Sonic enough to know if they're advertising enough on the side, it's on the menu board.
Yeah. You're probably looking right at it.
And when I came around the drive-thru, because I wasn't looking for it when I ordered. When I came around to leave, I think it was like on a poster right behind the speaker.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's probably right in their face.
Because it looked like Valentine's Day shit, and that's what that would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, there was also a sign when I pulled in for trick or treat blasts. I'm like, how long has that been there?
Or were they even? Oh yeah, they were reopened. I'm like, have they even been open that long? But they were because we went there.
But yeah,
I was like that lady. I went to the Starbucks and Target is usually full, so I don't go there very often. But there was only one lady and her mom in line, and I'm like, oh, it won't take that long. We walk up. And the woman was probably a little older than me, but her mom wasn't. It wasn't like a little old lady.
Yeah.
Because like if it was a little old lady, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
It's a woman who's probably had coffee in her lifetime.
Yeah.
She's there asking.
Coffee's been invented in her lifetime.
But like she's drinking it. We all know you're drinking your Folgers in the morning.
The best.
Maybe Maxwell House. I don't know. But she's like, do you have anything that tastes like chocolate?
I remember that.
And I was like...
I think I was there for that.
No, I think I told you about it because I was so annoyed. because then they didn't have the cookies, and Tony's mad, and he's like yelling.
Oh, I felt like I was there for that. You must have been very vivid in your storytelling because you said that, and
She
I felt
was
like, oh, I
like-
was there for that interaction.
And she's like, and yes, this is coffee. Almost everything tastes like chocolate.
Yeah.
Like you can get mocha in anything that you want.
Yeah.
And so like now the barista is offering, but like this lady is just
No.
she's
No.
she's just like reiterating like, well, does it taste like dark chocolate, whatever? And then they said like they made some recommendation and she took it and like she was nice. Everyone was being very polite.
Just get a frappuccino, you dumb bitch.
But it was just so strange because I was like, you're with your adult daughter. So did you not have a conversation? Like going up to the Starbucks, why didn't you ask her? Or like, doesn't she already know that you want your coffee to taste like chocolate? Doesn't she know how you take your coffee?
Yeah.
Or like, do you have just a fail safe or is this both your first time you just start shopping at Target and you're like, you know what? We're gonna get a Starbucks. That's why that one is always full because it's just people are like, oh, wow, we're here.
Well, I'm here.
And I'm like, well,
Might as well treat myself. I just spent $500 at Target on shit I didn't need, but
I'm like, I'm just here to buy diapers. Okay,
I'll treat myself to a Starbucks.
to an overpriced coffee.
Yeah, to a $200 iced frappuccino, iced latte, 2 pumps of vanilla.
It's only $6.65. Okay,
I don't care.
I apparently pay extra for the vanilla.
I thought you were going to talk about when you got accosted by the Girl Scouts in the drive-thru line.
Well, I was so pissed I left. Not at the Girl Scouts.
I mean, you were equally pissed at the Girl Scouts,
No,
as everyone should be.
I was just appalled.
I was so flabbergasted when I went to Landis on the Super Bowl to get stuff because they were there. When I left, they didn't say anything to me. And I didn't fake my phone call like I normally do. Nothing.
Sometimes the dollar store.
Acknowledge me, and I'm like, good for you.
Tony and I went to the dollar store, and they said we told them not to ask on the way in, so they'll get you on the way out. And I bought from them because they were being polite. They didn't ask me. They were just like, "Hi."
I hate it. I can't stand it.
So I bought.
Can't stand it.
Mostly because Tony wanted cookies. So I was like, all right, let's
can't stand it. Go peddle your bullshit somewhere else.
But now they were not. So I was in line. They weren't coming up to your car. Like they weren't knocking on your window.
No.
But they had their tables that when you came around the building to get in line, they were like here. So like if you were interested, it seemed like people were getting in line and sort of like rolling their window down and like waving. Yeah. I mean, all the cars around me, not every one, but like lots of the cars in the drive-thru were.
I'm sure they were
buying because you didn't even have to get out of your car.
Yeah,
get some cookies real quick.
Yeah,
but that feels dangerous.
It does.
I mean, maybe not. The cars aren't going that fast, and there's adults there.
Well, and then I have to put in the effort of like I have to avoid you, like I avoid homeless people when I'm in my car.
No, and
it's like
I just didn't roll down my window, and they didn't. They did nothing.
Well, they don't do anything in the city either. They just walk past you.
They
hold the sign out.
They weren't like coming up into the line. The reason I left was I was like 3 or 4 cars back from where you ordered, and I sat for like close to 10 minutes, and we did not move, not even one car. So I was like, "We're done here." I don't know what someone ordered. I can guarantee it was either a chatty person at the window,
probably a chatty person at the window,
or they ordered a box of Joe.
Probably ordered a bunch of stuff. Probably ordered. Like, oh, I'll get cookies and then I'll also get coffee for the moms. Probably got stuff for the Girl Scout moms. People are just waiting in line to buy fucking cookies, holding up the line.
It was unreal.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
I was like, see ya.
Same thing with that shitty ass Boy Scout popcorn. Go fucking peddle your bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't ever
else.
see them.
Good. Nothing worse than when your fucking dad brings that thing over. Like, oh, I got you some of this. I'm like, I don't want it.
I like it, but it's
disgusting.
Just salty. It's just salty.
Oh, it is the worst.
There's no butter on it.
Boy Scout popcorn is the worst. I've had that movie time, or the fuck it's called, like the popcorn you get in a hotel mini bar. Oh,
and the Act 2, that one's pretty
That's
bad.
what it is, Act 2.
Yeah.
Horrible. Horrendous. Whatever, I think because it was Act 2 we had when Lauren and Lance got married. Yeah. We made it that night, and I was like, ugh, I always forget how shitty this popcorn is.
Yeah, because it always tastes burnt, even though it's not. It tastes like cardboard.
That's tough. I don't know if I would prefer that over the Boy Scout popcorn.
I would eat Boy Scout popcorn.
It was dog shit. Absolute horrendous popcorn.
We got it all the time, though. Like, my dad, I don't know who he knew that was a Boy Scout or, like, where he's going, but he always had it. I don't mind. It's very salty. That's like really all it has.
I tried to buy it once, but I was not going to buy their regular popcorn. I was going to buy whatever flavored it was. And I didn't, I don't think I had enough cash.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, I got to go to my car and get more money. Just went to my car and fucking left.
Like, sorry, gotta go.
I didn't have enough cash on me. Because
The
it's also like $40 a box or some shit like that. And I'm like,
Well,
fuck you.
because it's a huge box.
Yeah,
it's
but
like-
I don't think I was getting like the big thing your dad gets.
It's
I think
like
I was getting like a
20 bags in
smaller.
there.
I think I was getting a smaller thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like, oh, that'll be $15. I'm like, kiss my ass, $15.
I never. Pop Secret's like $8.99 or something.
Okay.
No, for the big box.
If you're getting popcorn, it should be Pop Secret or Orville Redenbacher. And it shouldn't be Orville Redenbacher because they got rid of their bag, the bowl thing, which was genius, and they stopped making it. I'm so mad.
Well, no, I think, don't they have it now in this
They don't.
snack?
They don't.
The personal bag?
That's still just a bag of popcorn.
Oh, I thought the little ones are still a bowl.
No. What I'm talking about is there used to be a full bag of popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah, we had it in the
And
mountains.
the top was a
You pulled it off.
like cellophane or whatever that is, and you would pull it off, and the bag was the bowl. And
Yeah.
it was genius. One of the greatest innovations in popcorn ever.
Do you think that
And as soon as it came, felt like it went away immediately.
Do you think there was a situation where
I'm sure it was probably the plastic, and
But
it was
why-
probably the eco-friendly bullshit and whatever. I don't know.
or they were too expensive to make?
Stop making so many varieties. Just have movie theater butter and regular butter. We don't need your fucking
just
movie
only-
theater butter, double butter, extra butter.
No, that's Pop Secret.
extra salted. Orville Redenbacher's the same way.
Have you tried to shop for Pop Secret?
Light butter, vegan,
You
organic.
you should
I can't
go
believe
in.
it's not popcorn. Like whatever bullshit they
I
have.
can't even remember which one we get because there's
Movie theater butter.
but you have no butter or whatever, plain gross,
Salted.
and then butter, double butter, extra butter, movie theater butter, extreme butter.
That's definitely not the
Yes.
rankings of those.
There's one more above
Movie theater butter, I think, is like, it's not, because there's not a ton of butter on movie theater butter. I think it's like butter, then movie theater butter, then the rest of it.
I want the most butter.
I know you do. You want your preferable snacks are
A stick of butter.
well, no, it's the most butter, Pop Secret's like buttery butter popcorn, and then a side of the most stuff.
No,
Oreos.
it's too much. It's too much. It's gross.
It is too much.
Ew.
It's disgusting.
It's
I can have like half of one, and I'm like, I'm out.
but the cream is different.
Because there's too much.
It's like fluffier.
It's too much cream.
Ugh.
It's too much cream.
No, it was gross. We did get them because I thought like, oh, this is awesome. And
In no situation in life do you need that much cream.
it's gross.
Um,
That was disgusting. It wasn't even funny.
it was. It was. I'm also loving that I have now learned that I don't have to do like that. Know what I'm saying? I mean, I should do that for the audio portion, but like for the video portion, I can just do like a nice 90s like
A
nice
sitcom.
a nice Jim Halpert like
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna say about popcorn now, and I don't remember. But yeah, we exclusively do Pop Secret because it is the official popcorn of Walt Disney
It
World.
doesn't taste as good as theirs though.
No,
'cause
because
it's air
theirs is
popped.
theirs is air popped. Ours is popped in a microwave.
We don't need to air pop it though.
We
I mean, we don't have to
it,
microwave it because we have a popcorn thing.
but we don't have Pop Secret popcorn to put in the air popper.
You can buy it.
I know we can. I do. I want to get it out again. Maybe tomorrow, if we do get snowed in, I'll bust it out.
I want to try the
Seasonings we got.
the white cheddar.
No, just make a bunch of it. Have a bunch of little bowls. Here you go.
You got to put a lot of butter on there.
They do need, but well, no.
You got to melt it.
Oddly enough,
It tastes fine.
that popcorn with nothing on it tasted better than Act 2 and Boy Scout popcorn. And it is unseasoned, unbuttered. There's nothing on it.
Yeah, I think air popped
Ooh,
popcorn,
excuse me.
no matter what, no matter what brand you get, I think
Yeah.
it has a better taste than.
My final note before we possibly move on to maybe anything else is released today as of this recording. was the music video for Billy Joel's "Turn the Lights Back On," his new song. First of all, I think we've talked about it, but I love the song.
Yeah, it's great.
Great song.
Yeah, we did.
My favorite, I've come to realize my favorite line in the song is the I'm trying to think of the lead in. But whatever the lead in is, it's maybe you love me, maybe you don't, maybe you'll learn to, and maybe you won't.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I think that's my favorite lyrics from the song. But regardless of that, they released the music video today. Not realizing it, I went on Facebook. Rolling Stone had up like the music video came out. Here's what's in it. I went on YouTube and immediately watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it like right when they dropped it.
Yeah, because you probably didn't think to look at how many views it had.
No, I just clicked on it.
I don't even.
I assumed it like came out yesterday or like what?
Right,
like I assumed I was getting to it late. Not like that article was brand new.
Yeah.
The video was brand new. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I highly suggest watching it.
It's so good.
It starts off with Billy Joel, currently his current age, playing piano. It shows you the sheet music he is looking at is Famous Last Words, which is the last song on his last album that came out in '93. River of Dreams is the name of that album. It then pans to the top of the piano, and there's a cigarette and an ashtray. It pans back to him, and it is 1970s.
Yeah, like
curly-haired Billy Joel.
Album
1, super young. I wondered at first if it was like Marvel de-aging, but I do think you are correct in that it's
AI.
It's AI because it's a full. He's not in the same suit.
Yeah, no.
Like everything is different.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But that's the first. I think the first verse, maybe even the first chorus, is that Billy Joel.
Because there's 4 of them.
It then pans to the stage lights, maybe.
Yeah, there's a.
And then when it comes back, you see the jacket is different. The hands look a little different, not that different, but like the jacket is different. And then come up, it is now like 1980s era Billy Joel. Does his portion of the song. They pan around to the chandelier. They come back down. It is 90s sunglass era Billy Joel. And then the end of the song is back to current modern day Billy Joel.
It's very clever.
And it's one of those things of like, I tell people all the time that I love Billy Joel. I told Tony today when I showed you the music video that like, I do think Billy Joel is my favorite musical artist.
Tony did not care for it.
Well, he didn't really. He was all over the fucking place.
No, because I think the first time we listened to it, he did like the song. So.
But I do think he is my favorite musical artist. I don't know why, but I
like him. He's got a lot.
I could listen to Billy Joel.
He has a lot to offer. It's because all of his songs sound so different.
I could listen to Billy Joel probably all day, every day, and not get tired of it. But as someone I was born in '93 when his last album came out. So at no point in my life have I been, except for now, have I been alive when Billy Joel was like pumping out hits.
Well, minus Why Should I Worry? When did Oliver and Company come out?
That was the 90s. Might have even been the late 80s.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was. Oliver and Company, 1988.
Yeah.
So that came out before his last album came out.
Well, I was just wondering.
But I wouldn't have seen that movie until...
No, but it also wouldn't have been new.
So at no point in my life have I been alive for new, again, outside of now, for new Billy Joel. I found Billy Joel after he was done putting out albums and writing music and stuff like that.
We listened to him, but I wouldn't have known that it was
But
new.
it's still, like, seeing the progression of him in the music video still kind of hit me in a weird way. I don't know why.
I just thought it was so cool.
And someone did, one of the comments underneath the video I saw today said something about like, I couldn't imagine. It had to have been someone like my age. Had to have been. Because it was like, I couldn't imagine being someone, or I can't tell you the envy I have for people that were alive.
Oh.
Like throughout the 50 years of Billy
Yeah,
Joel's
yeah.
career. Which is a weird thing to me, and then it made me wonder of like, if I were, would I have the reverence for Billy Joel that I have?
Probably.
Or is it something that because I found him like after everything was already done?
No,
But I don't know.
it would just be different.
Yeah. I may have more of a connection to him than I do now. If I grew up like with him coming out with new music.
It depends. If you were an adult,
yeah.
You maybe. If you were teen,
depending on when.
Like if you,
because he did span about 20 years of music.
Yeah, so if you were,
because when did Piano Man come out? Was that his first album? No, that's not his first album.
If he started in the 70s and you were born in the 60s, like your parents, if they were big into him, they would have been in elementary school when his first album's coming out, and then like they would have literally.
So his first album, Cold Spring Harbor, came out in 1971.
Yeah.
And his last album came out in 1993. So you could have realistically, literally grown up.
Your parents would have.
With Billy Joel.
Yeah. Because if you were born in the 60s.
Yeah.
Or my mom could have. I don't know.
It's like, because my mom and dad graduated high school in 85.
Right.
So
they're middle school, high school, and adult. He had stuff coming out.
Yeah. Crazy. That's crazy. He was putting out 71, Piano Man was 73, Street Life Serenade was 74, Turnstiles was 76, The Stranger was 77, 52nd Street was 78, Glass Houses is 1980, The Nylon Curtain's 82, Innocent Man is 83, The Bridge was 86, Stormfront was 89, and River of Dreams was 93.
He was really cranking them out. The 70s.
52nd Street is his best album.
The 70s, really, he was really cranking them out.
To me, 52nd Street is his best album to me.
I think I like The Stranger.
Yes. I mean, Stranger's also a great album. Moving Out.
I mean, just in terms of like the songs.
Moving Out, The Stranger, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Vienna,
Uh-huh.
Only the Good Die Young.
Yep, that one's me.
And She's Always a Woman.
Yep, that one's me.
And then Get It Right the First Time and Everybody Has a Dream are the last two songs. But 52nd Street, Big Shot is a fantastic song.
I do, yeah.
Honesty, My Life, Zanzibar,
You May Be
Stiletto.
Right. Where's You May Be Right?
My favorite song is number 6 on 52nd Street.
Christy Lee?
No. I mean, I do like that song, but
Rosalinda's Eyes?
Rosalinda's Eyes.
Vienna might be mine.
His very first one has She's Got Away.
Ooh.
You Can Make Me Free. Everybody Loves You Now. Why, Judy, Why? Falling of the Rain.
I did not.
Turn Around. You Look So Good to Me. Tomorrow Is Today. Nocturne and Got to Begin Again. Great songs. Absolutely great songs.
What was the first one? The first song?
She's Got Away.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
First song on his first album.
Yeah, I didn't realize that song was that old.
Mm-hmm. Great songs. Turn Around is a great song.
So where's You May Be Right?
You May Be Right is Glass Houses, 1980. Track number 1, You May Be Right.
That's a good one.
Billy Joel recorded his answer to punk and new wave. He opens the sound.
Uh-huh.
He opens with the sound of a rock smashing a window. Then You May Be Right swaggers in with a curled lip vocal and guitars that chug and chime.
Yeah, that's a great one.
You May Be Right, Sometimes a Fantasy. Don't Ask Me Why. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Don't ask me why.
All for Lena. I Don't Want to Be Alone. Sleeping with the Television On. You Were the One. Close to the Borderline and Through the Long Night. Great songs. Just fucking. What's on Turnstile? Say Goodbye to Hollywood. Summer Highland Falls. All You Want to Do Is Dance. New York State of Mind. James, Prelude / Angry Young Man. I Love These Days. And Miami 2017.
He has short albums too.
I prefer the live version of Miami 2017. From Songs from the Attic.
Oh,
Featuring
Why Should I Worry?
No. Captain Jack, live in Philadelphia.
Oh, the song we weren't allowed to listen to.
Piano Man has, I think, so for me and what I like, The Stranger is a fantastic album. I think 52nd Street is my favorite album of his. I think if you really to step back and look at hits, I do think The Stranger is probably his best album.
He's got does have big hits.
See now, but my Aunt Kathy said that Piano Man is his best album. Traveler and Prayer, great song, number 1. Piano Man, number 2. Ain't No Crime, again, good song. You're My Home, good song. The Ballad of Billy the Kid, great song. Worst Comes to Worst, Stop in Nevada, If I Only Had the Words, Somewhere Along the Line, and Captain Jack.
I only know 2 of those songs. Like right out of without even thinking
You
about
it. You know Piano Man,
and
you know
and Captain
and you know the Ballad of Billy the Kid.
Yeah. But I only know that because of you. I wouldn't have known.
You would probably know all of these to hear them.
So the Billy Joel songs that I know very well are because we had his greatest hits.
Yeah.
It's either volume 1 and 2. It's 2 discs. I don't know if it's volume 1 and volume 2 or whatever. But none of those songs, except for Piano Man and Captain Jack, are on there.
Because Worst Comes to Worst.
The Stranger, they're all on there.
Worst Comes to Worst is the how the hell's that song start? I've been living like a rich man's son. Tomorrow morning I could be a bum. But I know something that they don't know. I've got a woman in New Mexico.
No.
Worst comes to worst. You don't know that song?
No.
Street Life Serenade. What's on that one? Los Angelinos. The Entertainer. Great song.
Oh yeah, I love that. That one's on the greatest hits.
Nylon Curtains got Allentown, Pressure, Goodnight Saigon,
Pressure.
and She's Right on Time are probably his biggest hits. Innocent Man, Easy Money, An Innocent Man, The Longest Time, This Night, Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl.
Oh.
Ooh, Careless Talk, Christy Lee, Leave a Tender Moment Alone, and Keeping the Faith.
Ah, that one's got some good ones.
So An Innocent Man has some good ones on there too.
I feel like those might be deeper.
The Bridge, A Matter of Trust, Big Man on Mulberry Street. Stormfront had We Didn't Start the Fire, the Downeaster Alexa, Shameless. Great song. And So It Goes. Great song. Oh my God. And So It Goes is one of the saddest songs I think I've ever heard.
Where's the lullaby?
That's on River of Dreams. River of Dreams. Lullaby, Good Night, My Angel. No Man's Land, great song. Great Wall of China, Blonde Over Blue, A Minor Variation, Shades of Grey, All About Soul, Lullaby, The River of Dreams, 2,000 Years, and Famous Last Words. But yeah, if you look at hits, I do think it's The Stranger.
I do think that I knew River of Dreams when it was new.
Because 7 out of 9 of these songs are, at least I think they're hits.
On The Stranger?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Everybody Has a Dream, I know it. That's a deep cut. Get it right the first time. Again, I know it. I think it's a deep cut. But 1 through 7.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Moving Out, Stranger, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Vienna, Only the Good Die Young, and She's Always Wanted.
Yeah. They're bangers. Every single one of them. Just the Way You Are was almost a wedding song.
What's funny too is, so not only is he putting out albums consistently, the albums don't have any overlap.
What do you mean?
So we've seen in quite a few artists looking through records at record stores that the Rolling Stones will have an album, and then this album, like the last 2 tracks from this album are the first 2 tracks on this album.
Yeah.
Or they're in the middle somewhere.
We've also
seen 2 albums later has songs from the first album on there.
We've seen a lot too where it's I only know 1 song on this whole album.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of those. Even if you're not a huge Billy Joel fan,
yeah,
most of his albums you're gonna know a couple of them.
Yeah. You'll know
if you're looking
through that, and which this I did not intend for this to just turn into let's list off all the songs Billy Joel has ever recorded. But looking through the listings, every album you will know at least 2 songs.
Yeah. If you're I kind of am into him, or like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to add him to my like. I'm thinking of like if you're looking to buy vinyls,
Yes.
like, oh, I want to add some to my collection. Like, he's a really good one to add because you're gonna know more than
I do have to go.
like one single song.
We got to look at the list because we were very consistently for a while there.
Well, COVID happened.
Well, no, it was even before COVID because with the kids and stuff like that. And
Yeah, well, Tony's first.
but my point is like choosing to not spend money on records.
Oh, you mean just buying records in general?
Because I was consistently working through. Like I had a list. Like these are the albums of Billy Joel that I have. I want all of them. And then I got mad because he has now released the box sets of like here's all of them. I think it was 2 parts, and you got tons of bonus shit in it.
Well, which is all well and good, but you were buying. Like,
I do want the
originals.
I do want the originals, but I also want those box sets, which I think were limited.
I would rather. So I mean, I like to buy.
We got the Garth box set, even though his was like super cheap, and I still do not understand why his was so cheap.
Because nobody wants them.
Yeah, but it's Garth Brooks.
Yeah, but nobody wants them. At this point, he's not putting out anything new.
Neither was Billy Joel when he put those things out.
I guess, but like,
and because Garth did have new shit.
But his box set came with like the album and the CDs,
and his box set was new. It was a new live, like triple album or whatever they called it.
It was just
it came with the vinyl and the CDs.
It's so strange.
It came with a whole bunch of shit.
It was a poster.
A poster. There was other stuff too that it came with, but like I think it was less than $100.
It was way less than that.
Yeah, I feel like it was like $50.
Yeah,
because
my mom bought it for you for Christmas. Yeah, and she was like, it was even cheaper when she bought it.
Yeah, it was. She
bought it on like Cyber Monday or whatever.
It was very
Prime
strange.
Day, whatever. I think she got it for like $29.99.
I should look up.
Like what she paid for it was like highway robbery.
So I have one article we can talk about because we have just enough time here that I can kind of pad the end of it. I will give you 2 choices. I just saved these today. We can either discuss 19 lovable main characters we shouldn't actually be rooting for.
Oh, that's fun.
Or the greatest guilty pleasure romance movies.
Let's do that one only because it's like we're just coming off of Valentine's Day.
Okay.
It's a post Valentine's Day.
Let me write it down so I don't forget to write it in the synopsis of what the episode was about.
But I do like the other one.
What is it? Guilty pleasure romance movie?
So definitely keep that for another time.
Oh yeah, I will.
Because that sounds fun. I do love those. Speaking of it, we're watching The Handmaid's Tale while you write that. And I texted Mandy because I thought that she was watching it because I thought the first time I watched it, she was sort of like the jumping point because I was like, did you watch it? And she loved it. But I had to stop because I would not recommend it. If you're pregnant, do not even start. Don't. It's too much. Don't. Just don't.
I heard a lot of don't start because after season 1, it's not good.
It did go downhill real quick, but it's bringing me back. It's one of those where you got to keep going because they had to. Lots happens in season 1, and then they need to get some story in there, and they got to explain everybody, and they got to establish villains because it's not who you think it is, and whatever. But
also,
so the main character, I was like, am I supposed to like her? Because I really hate her.
Yeah,
she's got Rick Grimes energy. Everywhere you go, someone dies. Every time you show up, shit hits the fan. You're the problem, girl. You are the problem. But she's not. It's coming around. But like everywhere she goes, awful stuff that's happening. People are dying left and right. I'm like, and then there's a baby involved. And I was like, I swear to God, if the baby doesn't make it, we're done here.
Speaking of reviews for things, my Aunt Janet was up this past weekend. And my mom says to me that, oh, Janet watched your movie. And we're For those of you that don't know us, we are one of those families that's like, there is a cop where my parents live that I don't care for. We've talked about it on the show. I know we've talked about it on the show. I think when she was on, we talked about it on the show. Maybe not in the specific details of it, but I don't care for him. But he, because of where he worked and where people in my family worked, whatever, he's close. Well, close. He knows my family pretty well.
Yeah.
So when they see him, they will then say to me like, "Oh, ran into your buddy today."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
Like
very
things that you
sarcastic.
don't
Of like,
like.
yeah, it's always always the opposite. It's
Yeah.
always heavily
Well,
sarcastic.
I thought when she said that, I thought there was a movie. Like I thought it was something that we had seen recently that we did like.
So did I. That's why I was like, "What movie are you?"
Then I was like,
about?
oh, maybe I was like not because I leave. We eat with your family on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I leave early, so I thought like, oh, maybe it was after I left. You guys were talking about like a movie or something that you watched that I haven't seen, whatever.
Yeah,
I can't believe she watched it.
She said like, "Oh, she saw your movie. She watched your movie," and I'm like, "What movie are you talking about?" And then she's like, "Oh, it was called." I forget what she said.
I think she said like "Let the World Burn" or something.
Let the World Go, and I'm like, "Leave the world behind." She's like, "Yeah, that's what it was," and she was like, "It was awful."
She's like, "I hated the ending."
She's like, "I hated that ending. It was a horrible movie." And I'm, thank you very much.
But what's so funny is, what did they tell her? One, did they tell her, or
yeah, did she go into it knowing like Brian hated this movie,
or did she even know
did my
that
mom
you had
watch it?
seen it? No, she wanted to, because she said, "Oh, maybe I'll still watch it."
But did they watch it together? I wonder, because she didn't comment. My mom didn't.
No, she probably watched it while your parents were at work.
Oh, maybe. Well, I didn't know if they watched it like at the end of the day, whatever day.
I told her, I'm like, read the book. It's better.
Oh,
it's so weird though, because everything that you hated about that movie is in the book. But like I read that book in 36 hours. So like, yes, the ending is still like open-ended and disappointing, but it's okay in a book.
So
the way it ends works fine. You don't finish the book like, "Ugh."
Oh, there is an ending. Okay.
It just ends and you're just sort of like, oh, okay. Also, when you read on a Kindle and you just keep swiping and there's no more book. If I had a paper book, it would have been a little easier.
So there's only 73, but we'll just blow through these because I haven't heard of these first 3.
Are you going from the bottom or the top?
I'm going from the bottom to number 1.
Okay.
Because it's ranker, so number 1 is the best.
Okay.
Sometimes I think about dying.
Nope.
It's called, starring Daisy Ridley. It's 2023. A lonely and socially awkward woman tries to make a connection with a friendly new coworker who takes her out on a date.
Just skip the ones we don't know.
The Heartbreak Agency. Well, I'm seeing, because I know Daisy Ridley, but like these people I don't know.
Well, read them because you might not know them, but maybe I'll know.
Kill Me If You Dare. I don't know those people.
The hell?
5 Blind Dates. I don't know those people. This Is Me Now, a love story. That new fucking J-Lo movie.
Oh.
Jennifer Lopez stars in a highly visual and musical reimagining of her publicly scrutinized love life.
Oh, I kind of want to see that. That would be fun.
Oddly enough, not starring Jennifer Lopez, according to this. It's starring Fat Joe, Trevor Noah, and Kim Petras. I saw a thing that I had a picture.
Who is she?
I have no idea. She's a YouTuber, I think, that had a picture of Fat Joe from the movie, and it was like, J-Lo refers to this man in the movie as Joe, and he is her therapist. Is he playing a character named Joe who's a therapist? Or is Fat Joe now just Joe, a therapist in real life? Was the post. I was like, this is hysterical.
I do kind of like, I've seen a bunch of her movies, and I'm not saying that they're like, Oscar worthy.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is just like
it's like
this is like a music video, I think. It's like a long.
It's
like a long form music video kind of thing.
Or is it?
I think.
Is it sort of like Rocket Man?
No, I think it's like a music, like it's multiple music videos together.
Oh,
kind of thing. I think from what the trailer looked like.
Oh, I would still check it out.
Players, starring Gina Rodriguez and Damon Wayans.
No.
2024. Ashes.
These are all too new.
50 Shades Freed, number 66.
Well, yeah, okay.
Would you like to upvote or downvote that?
Well, I'm tempted to say the third one's the best one.
Doesn't answer my question.
I would upvote it because it's better than. I'm assuming that 1 and 2 are
Step
up higher.
Up Revolution is now number 66. Your vote moved 50 Shades Freed to the 65. 28%.
I would downvote Step Up because I'm not voting for no.
Step Up Revolution?
Get out of here.
Okay, I'll downvote that. After We Fall.
No. Oops.
2021.
Sorry about that.
Upgraded 2023. Call Me by Your Name. Ooh, I did like that movie.
I didn't see it.
I mean, it's
Why is it? Is it really a guilty pleasure? I thought
it's an Armie Hammer movie.
Well, we don't love him, but
well, I don't know. The term guilty pleasure is weird to me because, like, I don't know. I don't have
50 Shades of Grey is a guilty pleasure. Those movies suck.
I don't have guilty pleasures. Like, if I enjoy something, I enjoy it. I'm not like, oh, it's really embarrassing to admit this, but like,
I'll tell you.
I really enjoyed Call Me by Your Name.
I'm like open. I openly tell people that.
I don't understand how that's a guilty pleasure movie. Like, it was nominated for Academy Awards.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like, usually, like, I understand that the notion of guilty pleasure.
Oh, I moved it to 61. I uploaded it.
Where like 50 Shades of Grey is not a good. It's not a good book. They're poorly written.
Bumping down to 62. Step Up to the Streets.
Stop it. Get down. Get out of here.
That's still Channing Tatum, though.
Stop it.
Step Up 3D.
Stop it.
Okay.
I only saw the first one.
That also got moved to 61, so you moved Call Me by Your Name up higher.
I didn't. You did.
You did because you downvoted Step Up 3D.
Oh.
Funny Girl. Sorry, Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand?
1968.
But why is that guilty?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Why aren't I allowed to like Barbara Streisand?
Ooh, Poor Things, that new movie.
Oh, I do kind of want to see that. It looks weird as shit, but
it looks brought back to life by an unorthodox scientist. It's Frankenstein. A young woman runs off with a lawyer on a whirlwind adventure across the continents. Free from the prejudices of her times, she grows steadfast in her purpose to stand for equality and liberation.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a modern retelling of...
Oh.
Well, not modern. I don't know when the time period is.
Yeah, I like it.
In terms of when the movie comes out, it is a modern retelling of Frankenstein, sounds like. Rumor has it.
Terrible.
Directed by Rob Reiner. Now I want to see it.
No, it's awful. Do you know the premise of that movie?
Kevin Costner?
She thinks that her family is the movie, is what The Graduate is based on, which you haven't seen The Graduate, so you can't watch this.
So am I upvoting it or downvoting?
No, leave it. Leave it there.
Okay.
It's terrible. That movie sucked.
La La Land?
That movie also sucked.
I didn't mind it the second time I watched it.
Again, but why is it guilty?
I think because of that.
Because I'm supposed to feel guilty that I like it?
It's divisive. I think in terms of movies, that's more where it comes into play. It's either movies that the majority of people are like, this is dog shit.
But like most people love that movie.
No.
Really?
I think La La Land is very divisive.
I thought I was in the minority when I think La La Land.
I think La La Land, much like jazz, is very divisive.
I like jazz.
Well, the point of that movie is jazz. He's a jazz musician.
Yeah, but
that was my point. Is like I think jazz is a divisive genre. People either love it or hate it. I think La La Land is a movie where people either like it or you hate it.
And it wasn't even. I like musicals. For some reason the music did not fit in there. I think it was the dancing.
I think you'd have to watch it again because I did watch it a second time because I thought like, why didn't I like this movie?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Everyone liked this movie. It was nominated for Academy Awards. It didn't win, but like
I like all the actors that are in it. I don't.
Moonlighting one, but or Moonlight.
Moon Landing.
No, Moonlight.
Moon Landing one.
It's Moonlight.
I know. Moon Landing is funny here.
It's not because I'm pretty sure it's a movie about it's two gay men.
Then Moon Landing would be funnier because that's when we touch butt cheeks.
It's very insensitive. They went through enough of almost not winning that Oscar, thanks to whoever the fuck it was that presented the award.
Steve Harvey.
It wasn't Steve Harvey. It was not Steve Harvey.
That
was Miss Universe or whatever that Steve Harvey fucked up. No, who was it? Who presented the award for Moonlight?
I swear to God.
It's an old white man and an old white woman. And
is it Adele Dazeem?
No, that's John Travolta. The excuse was that she couldn't read the card properly, so she just said La La Land, I guess, because La La Land looks nothing like Moonlight.
Did you just see an L and you just thought, oh, I know.
Moonlight Oscars. Warren Beatty. Who is it? Blah blah blah. Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. Christ. Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty presented the award, and they announced that it was La La Land, and then whoever came out and was like, "It's not La La Land," and like held the fucking envelope. I'm like, "It's Moonlight." Held the envelope so you could see it on camera.
Oh my god!
And then it was this big conspiracy of like, were they trying to steal it? Were they trying to rig it? And the excuse they gave back was like, Faye Dunaway can't read, right? Because she's so old.
Joke's on you, pal. I can't read.
It's just like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but I'm glad La La Land did not win. But I would watch it again. I would watch it again because I enjoy musicals. It has nothing to do with the musical. Like that's not the argument there.
We'll leave it where it is. Another movie I have not seen, I really want to, Brokeback Mountain.
I've never seen it either.
I want to see it so bad.
I think my mom might own it.
Basic Instinct.
With what's her name?
Michael Douglas.
Sharon Stone?
Sharon Stone. 54.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Neither have I. Risky Business. 53. Never saw it.
I just know the underwear scene now.
The Breakup. Starring Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Great, upvote that one.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Oh, you moved it to 51. What got moved to 52? Just My Luck, starring Lindsay Lohan and Chris Pine.
Never saw it.
Never saw it either.
Never saw it. It sounds terrible.
As the luckiest woman in the world,
Nope,
Ashley, Lindsay Lohan,
Ashley?
That's her name, has a wonderful life which all changes after she kisses a stranger, Chris Pine, at a costume party. She sees everything turn into a living hell as she realizes that she has changed her good fortune for the stranger's bad luck.
Ew! Why do I want to see that?
Of course you do. Can't Buy Me Love. Patrick Dempsey, 1987.
Whoa! Never saw it.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
I saw it. Downvote that one. I'm not 12. Okay.
House Sitter.
Who's in that?
Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn, 1992. Directed by Frank Oz.
Oh, whoa.
I haven't seen this movie.
I see. That's what I was hoping for, like older ones. That one's a bit older than I was hoping for. But...
Architect Newton Davis, played by Steve Martin, is distraught when his girlfriend, Becky, Dana Delaney, spurs his proposal and refuses to move into the lavish house he designed for her. Davis, who cannot imagine himself living alone in the house, shares his tale of woe with Gwen, played by Goldie Hawn, a dishonest waitress he thinks doesn't speak English. Complications arise when Davis, on the brink of reconciliation with Becky, discovers that Gwen has moved into the couple's soon-to-be dream home.
Oh my gosh, that sounds fun.
That sounds fantastic. Did you ever see, it might be on here, The Out of Towners, I think is what it's called, with Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Very funny. It's a very good movie. Splash with Tom Hanks.
Love it.
Never saw it.
What?
John Candy?
The Mermaid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
John Candy's in the movie? Never saw it. Directed by Ron Howard. The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I never saw it.
The Kissing Booth.
Downvote that. There's too many creepy teen movies on Netflix.
Oh, you moved it to 49. Runaway Bride.
Love it. All the way up. All the way to number 1.
Number 44.
Just kidding.
You moved it to 42.
It's not moving it.
You moved it 2 spaces.
I'm having a lot of moving and shaking.
What did you bump down? 43 became Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, downvote that. Fuck off.
You know what else you moved down to 44? Walk the Line.
Upvote that. Stop.
Moved it to 43.
Walk the Line? But why is that guilty? We're not allowed to like that?
I think it's because their relationship is controversial.
All relationships are controversial.
What pisses me off about their relationship is no one ever talks about it.
Well,
I know people who hate Garth Brooks because it's that whole thing of like, oh, he cheated on his wife, even though his ex-wife, Trisha Yearwood, Garth Brooks, everyone involved was like, he didn't.
Right.
Meanwhile, Johnny Cash did essentially the same thing with
So did June Carter. She was married.
Who else did it? George and Tammy kind of did.
Well,
did. He ripped her from her home.
Let's not talk about George and Tammy. I have thoughts on the both of them.
If you have the opportunity to watch that docuseries, not docuseries, that miniseries.
Yeah, miniseries.
You should watch it because it is amazing.
Oh my God.
Michael Shannon is fantastic.
It's a roller coaster. It will take you on a ride.
I mean, so is Jessica Chastain. But
it will take you on a ride.
Her singing does not compare to Tammy Wynette.
No.
But I think Michael Shannon.
Sounds better than.
I have in my sleep playlist.
But I think that Joaquin Phoenix sounds better than Johnny Cash. So.
In my sleep playlist, I have The Grand Tour by Michael Shannon.
It's so
not
good.
George Jones.
It's so good. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's the other way. I think Reese sounds better than June Carter.
Oh, yes.
Joaquin sounds like Johnny Cash.
But I think because of their relationship, you're not supposed to. Well, I've said before, people that have critiqued their relationship to me, I'm like, if you look at how their relationship, at least on paper, and how it was presented, if you look at how their relationship went, and all these people who get this, like, oh, well, they cheated, they didn't. Most of the times when you think that happened, it didn't happen. It organically, did. Well, they did, but in not in theirs particularly. There's so many celebrity relationships that happen like that, where the assumption immediately is that they cheated. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the way it is presented to the public by all parties involved, to use Garth and Trisha as an example, is you meet, before anything happens, you separate from your prospective partners, and then you get in a relationship.
Or you're in the midst of a separation.
But what is hilarious to me is hearing people complain to me about it when it's like, guess what, fucker? I did the same thing.
Right, like you're barking up the wrong
This relationship started the same way.
Yeah.
Like
you're barking up the wrong tree here for
the Duff.
No. Who's in it?
Mae Whitman, Robbie Amell, and Bella Thorne, 2015. I remember hearing about it. My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Number 40.
It's up for that one. That was a good one. That's a good.
You moved it to 41. What?
That's a great one.
What?
I moved it from 40 to 41.
I'm very confused. People must be voting at the same time.
Oh my god!
Someone must upvoted the Duff or something like that, because this was 40 and I upvoted it. It's like you moved to 41. Like what? I don't know. That was trippy. Number 39 is Step Up 1.
We'll leave it. We'll leave you go, but that's it.
The Prince and Me.
Oh my god!
Julia Stiles.
That's a guilty pleasure. Right.
I've never even heard of this.
Have you seen a Hallmark movie where a woman meets a prince and they fall in love, but she doesn't know he's a prince and they fall in love? That's
number 37. There's Something About Mary.
Down, all the way down. Fuck off. That movie's so stupid. Down. Get it out of here.
I want to rewatch it.
It's not even romantic.
Oh, you moved it to 41. Jesus Christ. Who is voting? That moved from 37 to 41. Christ almighty.
I have a lot of power. I feel very powerful.
Good Lord. You put that smack between My Best Friend's Wedding and Runaway Bride.
Well, I gotta break up the Julia Roberts. Wait, now I feel like did all of our movies move?
But no, probably not. There's Something About Mary I really want to watch again.
No,
I didn't care for it, but I also saw. I feel like I was too young. When I saw it.
No, you weren't.
I was because I didn't. I remember the semen in her hair. When I saw it, did I know that's what the bit was? No, which tells you I was too young to see that movie when I saw that movie.
But it was in the era.
All I vividly remember is his penis getting stuck in a zipper. That's all I vividly remember.
Like the first scene
it's the opening scene of the movie.
When the brother keeps putting his dick in the vacuum cleaner.
I don't remember any of it.
It's very.
I have a feeling I will come out of it thinking the same thing, which is I prefer Along Came Polly.
Yeah, it's too Freddie Got Fingered.
Never saw that movie either.
Don't. Did you see Euro Trip? That's the same time frame.
With Michelle Trachtenberg?
That's not the girl.
Yes, it is.
No, that's not the girl. It's not.
Are you thinking of Road Trip?
Euro Trip.
Euro Trip is Michelle Trachtenberg.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of Road Trip then, with the guy from Freddie Got Fingered. Tom Green.
That's Road Trip. Euro Trip is the one with Matt Damon singing. Scotty doesn't know at the beginning. That's Euro
Charlotte
Trip.
the Spy, Scarlet the Spy,
Harriet
the Spy. That's Michelle Trachtenberg.
She's in Euro Trip.
Oh,
Euro Trip is the one that starts with Matt Damon singing Scotty Doesn't Know at the beginning of the movie. That's Euro
Trip. Yeah. No, I'm
the movie where I realized I think Michelle Trachtenberg is hot as shit.
She's very attractive. I was thinking it's Road Trip.
I don't know about anymore, but I haven't seen
Did she go downhill with Amanda Bynes?
I haven't seen her.
Have you seen her lately?
No.
It's not
I
great.
haven't seen her in a while to know, but
People are like, I think maybe we should be more concerned about
she's up there with
Amanda Bynes.
Emmy Rossum. I think she's very
Who is
attractive.
that?
She was in. What will you know her
Oh!
from? She was in the Phantom of the Opera movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Shameless, but you didn't watch
Yeah.
Shameless.
No, I know who you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera. 36 is Moulin Rouge.
Again, I don't know why I should feel guilty about
Ozzy
that.
Osbourne.
What?
The cast of Moulin Rouge, according to this, is Nicole Kidman, Ozzy Osbourne, and Kylie Minogue.
No.
I have no idea.
What? Where's Ewan McGregor?
He's Just Something Into You? Never saw it.
Upvote that one. Because when I'm thinking of like guilty pleasure romance movies, these are movies where like
I never saw it. Ooh, Silver Linings Playbook.
Phenomenal. That's not guilty though, but that's a phenomenal movie.
2 weeks notice?
She shits her pants in his limousine.
Okay. That doesn't tell me if you're upvoting or downvoting.
It can stay where it is.
Okay. Crazy Rich Asians?
Why is that guilty? That's a great movie.
Racism? I don't know.
It does feel racist that's on here. Such a good movie.
No, I mean it's racism. Like it's guilty because you're a racist. So you're like, I don't want to tell you I like this movie with all the Asian people in it.
I love that movie.
So do I. I love that movie.
Rewatched it the other day.
But I'm saying for other people, it's a guilty pleasure because like you love it because it's a great movie. But you're deep inside your soul, you're like, I don't like Asian people. I love this movie. So I won't tell my buddies that I like this movie.
The storyline isn't necessarily.
It's nothing new.
No, it's very like, oh, he's loaded.
It's very Romeo and Juliet.
No, it's like
but not in the sense of like your family's hate her. It's in the sense of like class.
Yeah, it's the class, whatever movie. It's like a little bit Cinderella, sort of.
I'm gonna upvote that one. Oh, I moved to the 33.
But I really like that one.
Friends with Benefits, the Justin Timberlake one.
Yeah, No Strings Attached is the other one.
I don't know what they're called. I didn't see the one with Ashton Kutcher, but I assume it sucks. I've heard nothing but horrible things.
I mean, this one's not good either.
It's not great. It's better than the other one. But it's not great.
I think I like the other one better because I don't like Justin Timberlake. So I said it out loud. I don't care for him.
Well, what's weird is I prefer Justin Timberlake.
It's the same.
I prefer JT to Ashton Kutcher. I prefer Natalie Portman to Mila Kunis.
Oh, well.
So it should have been like.
I don't really have I like Mila Kunis.
I don't hate Mila Kunis.
Well, I mean, lately I do because they did some questionable things with.
Well, she like doubles down with Ashton Kutcher, and it's a weird thing of like you started dating when you were like 12 years old or some shit like that.
Well, no, they doubled down on Danny Masterson.
But my point is like she seems to be. She went from kind of doing her own thing to then like at some point she just got roped in with like it's like Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. They went from being kind of like completely separate entities to now all of a sudden everything they do is Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. And like everything they do is Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Like they're always now everything they do is just whoosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's Ashton Kutcher's not really doing anything besides funding fucking Matt Rife's stand-up tour. Like what the fuck he's doing now. But
yeah, I think they tried to like then retract.
And they were doing all those COVID interviews like, oh, we don't bathe our kids, and that just fucking blew up the internet. And then Danny Masterson got charged with rape and was found guilty on like 3 counts of rape, and then the two of them were like, "Oh, you really shouldn't send him to jail."
No, it's worse than that.
Kids,
they petitioned the court so that he could get
and the letter they wrote to the judge was that
his family shouldn't have to.
He shouldn't go to jail because of his kids and his blah 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 blah.
Well, you know what? Someone else's family is suffering,
and it's like, well, guess what? Ashton and Mila, he was found guilty of rape. 3 times.
Like, a lot of families are
suffering.
Maybe
think before you do your nonsensical bullshit.
Maybe he shouldn't be around his own kids. Just a thought.
Well, that's where it came out, where people were like, "Is Topher Grace the only good person that was on that 70s
Yeah, because he's the only one who didn't come to his.
Well, I don't know about
the girl from Orange is the New Black.
The girl from Orange is the New Black. I don't know if she did it. I only saw Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Someone else did.
Someone else did. I don't think what's his name. Who the fuck is
Fez?
Well, what's his name?
Wilmer
Valderrama. I don't think he did.
Oh, maybe they're the only ones who did.
I didn't think Red and Kitty did. I don't remember what their names.
I think one of them's dead.
No, they're both alive because they're on that 90s show.
Oh, I thought
on
Red was
Netflix.
dead. I don't know
No,
why.
so did I.
Did he die on the show? Maybe that's why I thought he was dead.
I don't remember.
He has a heart attack. I know
Cheech
that.
didn't. Chong was on the show. He didn't speak out. I think it was, as far as I saw, it was only Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those weird things of like, I don't know that Mila Kunis is a piece of shit, but like I feel like you get dragged to being a piece of shit because I think Ashton Kutcher is a piece of shit.
He does a lot of weird stuff because he talks against human trafficking, but
everything I've seen him
it's sort of
do,
like you go on
like I didn't find that 70s show that funny, mainly because of his character.
It was fine.
Like his character is annoying. I
Well, 'cause
can't
he's
take
stupid.
it. Yeah, and I can't take that
And then
for
he
as
made
long as he gets pushed.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, Where's My Car, which is not good.
It's funny for what it is. It's funny for what it is.
I found it hysterical when it came out because I was a child.
Yeah, I was in middle school.
But I liked Red. I liked The Neighbor.
I didn't watch it that much. I watched it when it was on TBS.
Yeah, I watched it in reruns, but
Yeah.
like I didn't watch it new.
No.
But it's not like a great show to me.
No.
But yeah, I think he had fucking punked. Like everything he's kind of, I think he did that subpar Steve Jobs movie that no one saw. Then Michael Fassbender did it and was like, "This is how you fucking play Steve Jobs."
The Butterfly Effect. That's a really good movie.
Never saw
it. It's very strange. So the notion is that like, well, you know, the theory of like,
I know how it ends.
Well, but you know, like the butterfly theory
I'm aware.
is that like a butterfly flaps its wings, it causes tsunami around the world.
I'm aware how it ends.
So,
because it's in tons of lists that I see about like fucked up movie endings.
There's an alternate that might not be the original ending. I'm not going to give it away because if you haven't seen it, it's very powerful.
I mean, the movie's old as shit. Just say what it is.
Well, he kills himself in the womb.
Yeah.
But I think that's the alternate ending.
I don't know. That's the ending I always see on lists.
There is an alternate ending.
The picture is always him with a missing arm, leg.
Arm.
Both?
No, he has no arms. He has two arms.
The picture, I think, is from like the elbow down.
So then the premise of the movie...
Are both up? Is it shoulders or is it elbows?
I don't remember.
Is he missing forearms? He's missing the whole arm.
I think it's the whole arm.
Because the picture I'm seeing on the list is like, I'm pretty sure
it's a bomb in someone's mailbox.
I don't know.
But the notion is that he has like psychic sort of abilities where he can take himself back to redo things that he messed up in his life. So he will do things and he keeps trying to fix it. Yeah. And he realizes that the problem is him. So eventually he goes all the way back. And
it's the same paradox they do all the time with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
They do it in The Flash, the TV show, which ruined the TV show. He finally goes back in time and saves his mom from being murdered. Comes back to the future. The future's it comes back to the present. It's a fucking nightmare. Then he has to go back and it's the whole decision of like, do I let my mom die again and fuck up my present? Or do I have my mom die?
Yeah.
Or do I save my mom and fuck up the present, or do I have my mom die and then take it back to the way it was? And then the Flash just continued to like, now every season we're going to do this exact same storyline, just differently.
It's still, even though you do know how it ends, it's still a worthwhile movie. It's a little scary.
Number 30, Sleepless in Seattle.
Sure.
You upvoting it? Downvoting it?
No, it can stay where it is. Have you never saw that?
No. Number 29, Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner.
Nope, never saw it.
Never saw it either. In this thrilling 1984 adventure comedy, Romancing the Stone, Joan Wilder, played by Kathleen Turner, a successful but unfulfilled romance novelist, is hurled into an unexpected real-life escapade. When her sister's life is threatened, Joan must deliver a treasure map to her captors in Colombia, alongside Jack Colton, played by Michael Douglas, a roguish opportunist with his sights set on the potential fortune. Joan embarks on a perilous journey full of danger and intrigue. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, this film won a Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
No.
Proving its entertainment value along with its narrative strength. I have heard of it and I do want to see it. Danny DeVito's in it.
Oh, that's fun.
Never Been Kissed?
It's pretty gross.
Never saw it. Drew Barrymore and David Arquette.
She goes back to high school. Well, she's a journalist. And she goes back to high school to write an expose about something. And she ends up falling in love with the teacher, but at the time that they fall in love, the teacher thinks that she's a high school student, and they kiss, and it's like, what the actual fuck is this teacher doing, kissing students?
So are you upvoting it or downvoting it?
I mean, here's the thing, though. You watch the movie, and you're like, because like
you don't think about it in the
because she's
movie.
Josie Grossi in high school. Like she has an awful high school experience. She goes back. David Arquette is her brother.
In the moment, you don't think about it.
No, but then when
it's over, you're like, ugh.
Then when
December, ugh.
It's not though.
I know it's not.
He's a young teacher, so it's not. He's there. He's like her.
He's Michael Vartan.
So like you're rooting for her because she had such a shitty like high school experience originally. But it's just
so up or down.
Oh God, just leave it where it is.
27 is Love Actually.
Excuse me. Whenever I get down about the state of the world, I go to the arrival gate at the Heathrow Airport.
You moved it to 43. No, you didn't. That's what I was waiting for.
I'm like, what?
Number 26. I am upvoting, even though I know you don't care for it. When Harry Met Sally. I think you need to rewatch it because I love that movie.
Why? I don't want to rewatch it.
It was so good.
It just feels too cliche.
It's not though. You think that because it is the blueprint. When you think of romantic comedy, you should think of When Harry Met Sally.
It's the typical two friends who fell in love.
Because it's the blueprint.
For
every movie that came after it.
For Friends with Benefits or whatever movie.
No, for every movie that came after it. It is the blueprint for rom-coms.
I don't know.
You should watch it again. Rob Reiner is amazing. The Bodyguard.
Excuse me.
Number 25.
Excuse me.
So we're downvoting that? Okay. Moved it to 24.
Why is that guilt? Who feels guilty about watching Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston?
Number 25 now. It was 24.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
The Notebook.
Everyone should feel ashamed about watching that movie.
So we're downvoting The Notebook?
And I think we should upvote it because that's a very guilty. I don't feel guilty about watching The Bodyguard because I listened to that soundtrack to put me to sleep for about 10 years.
The Bodyguard back down to 25.
That's fine. It's not guilty.
You moved The Notebook to 23. 24 now is What a Girl Wants.
Ew. With Amanda Bynes?
Amanda Bynes, Colin Firth.
What?
Kelly Preston.
Wait, is Colin the good one? That's
yes.
a good Colin?
Colin Firth is Mr. Darcy and Mamma Mia.
Aging like a fine wine, that guy.
Lord Henry.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Her long-lost father.
No, stop it. He's not playing anyone's dad.
In What a Girl Wants, Daphne Reynolds, played by Amanda Bynes, embarks on a journey from New York to London, seeking to reconnect with her long-lost father, Lord Henry Dashwood.
He's only playing the love interest.
He's only playing Amanda Seyfried's dad.
No, but he's still playing the hot dad.
Gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So are we upvoting it or downvoting it?
I don't know. I never saw it.
So we're leaving it where it is. The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement. Number 22.
That has a Chris in it.
Chris Pine? He's not listed. Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews, and Hector Elizondo.
Isn't it Chris Pine who plays the prince that she's supposed to marry?
I have no idea.
I think so.
Yep. Chris Pine.
Okay. I was like, is it not?
You know how you know it's directed by Gary Marshall?
Why?
Hector Elizondo.
Well, he was in the first one.
You know who directed the first one?
Him?
Gary Marshall. You know who directed Pretty Woman? Is that Hector Elizondo in that one? Or am I thinking of a different one?
The hooker?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
I think he's the like front desk guy in that one. Was that also Gary Marshall?
I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure that's one of those like Hollywood pairings.
Yeah.
That every movie Hector Elizondo has ever done has been a Gary Marshall movie. I mean, he might have done other ones outside of that, but
but like if Gary Marshall's making a movie, Hector's gonna be in it.
Yeah. Gary Marshall. I don't need actor. I need director.
Oh, he plays the hotel front manager, you're saying?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Is this the right person?
Why don't you just look up who directed Pretty Woman?
Well, I was trying to look up his whole like filmography.
Gary Marshall. The old man from...
Yeah, I'm aware of who it is.
What the hell was that?
The kid across the street. He was born in England and died in Las Vegas.
He died in Burbank, California.
This is a different Gary Marshall then.
This Gary Marshall was born in the Bronx, and his sister is what's her name?
That's why. His first name is 2 R's. Did not realize that.
He did direct Pretty Woman. I just looked it up.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to see, like, has Hector Elizondo been, was Hector Elizondo in, has that Never Been Kissed? What was that Drew Barrymore movie that just came up when I pulled this thing up?
No.
Roles. Director. Mother's Day?
Ugh.
I didn't see that movie because Julia Roberts' hair on the poster was very off-putting to me.
I've seen it. It's what you expect.
Yes. Her
It's
hair.
bad. It's
My
bad.
mom saw this. My mom watched it, for those of you watching at home. My mom watched it on the way to like Disney, and she had the DVD, and I saw Julia Roberts on the cover. I was like, "Oh fuck no!" I'm like, "You had me at Jason Sudeikis. You lost me at the wig on Julia Roberts."
It's actually not a terrible movie, but like
That's a terrible wig.
Well, but it came out on like New Year's Eve,
but
and Mother's Day.
But like, come on, Gary Marshall, what are you doing with that haircut? Come on.
Well, she's in the military.
What?
Sorry.
Julia Roberts is in the military?
Yeah, she comes home for one day. Oh, Hector Elizondo's in that. No, is that who that is? He's in that. He plays the grandpa watching her son.
Hector Elizondo.
That's Valentine's Day.
So
my bad.
Mother's Day, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Georgia Rule.
No, Valentine's Day.
The Princess Diaries 2, Raising Helen, The Princess Diaries, Runaway Bride, The Other Side, Dear God, Exit to Eden, Frankie and Johnny, Pretty Woman, Beaches, directed by Gary Marshall.
What?
Overboard.
It's Valentine's Day where she's in the military and she's coming home for one day because it's Bradley Cooper sitting next to her on the airplane. And you think she's coming home to see her husband, but she's really coming home to see her son.
Hector Elizondo in Mother's Day.
No, he's in Valentine's Day.
But remember, I think he was in every Gary Marshall movie. He was not in.
I think he was in Valentine's Day.
He was in Valentine's Day and I think New Year's Eve. Hector Elizondo. Oh, he's in Last Man Standing. Oh my god, he's in tons of shit. Mickey and the Roadster Racers. He's in 5 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Grandpa Beagle.
We'll have to listen for him.
The Lego Batman movie. Mother's Day. New Year's Eve. Valentine's Day. He's in every single game. Georgia Rule.
Georgia Rule. That movie's stupid.
The Princess Diaries 2. Raising Helen. Where are you? Frank? Oh no, that's a different movie. He plays himself in that movie.
Oh.
Frankie and Johnny are married. He plays Hector Elizondo. The Princess Diaries.
I knew he was in that one.
So did I. Runaway Bride. The Other Side. He is in every Gary Marshall movie.
That's adorable.
Every single one. Dear God.
They're besties.
That's so fun. He was a voice on 3 episodes of the Aladdin TV show.
All right, what else you got?
That was fun. You've Got Mail.
Okay. I mean, I put that right in line with Sleepless in Seattle.
So you upvoting it? Or downvoting it?
No, I mean, they're the same movie. It's her and Tom Hanks.
Sleepless in Seattle was lower. So if you're putting that right in line, I feel like
just leave it. Just leave it. They're the same movie. It's just one of them they're talking over email and one of them they're talking over the radio.
A Cinderella Story? With Hilary Duff?
Ew.
Jennifer Coolidge and Chad Michael Murray?
Chad Michael Murray? I mean,
Up, down, or leave it. I never saw it.
You should feel guilty if you watch that movie.
I never saw it.
It's stupid. It came out when there was 100 Cinderella movies.
Mamma Mia.
Fuck off.
Number 19.
I don't feel guilty. I watch that movie every single day.
So you're downloading it?
I guess. You should never feel guilty about watching Mamma Mia.
Ghost.
Why would you feel guilty about watching that?
I never saw a Ghost.
Demi Moore and Ghost Patrick Swayze basically do it while she's making pottery.
I do want to see Ghost, but I never saw it.
You never saw it?
No. Why would I have seen that movie?
I don't
Outside
know.
of the fact that I like Whoopi Goldberg, why would I have seen Ghost?
Because you were born in the 90s and it had to have been on TBS like every single day.
It came out in 1990. I was 3 years old.
It was on TBS
I was
all
0.
the time.
I was 0. Till that movie was 3 years old, I was born. If it was on TBS, you know what I'm not watching? Ghost.
Why not?
Because I'm a child.
If you were trying to watch porn on Cinemax, you could have just watched Ghost.
Not at 0 years old.
You could have just watched Ghost on TBS.
Not at 0 years old. Till I was old enough to be watching porn on TV, Ghost was no longer being played on TV. It was
Probably.
Twister.
Twister and Jurassic Park on a loop. And Big Daddy.
TNT.
And Big Daddy.
Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
It's like 3 hours long.
The 2005 version. She's the Man. Number 16. You downvoting that one?
No, just leave it there.
Okay. Crazy Stupid Love. I'm upvoting that one.
Why do you feel guilty about that?
I don't. It's just a good movie.
Then you would downvote it.
No, I'm not going off that rhetoric. Fuck that. I won't downvote a movie that good. A Walk to Remember.
Our love is like the wind.
I never saw that movie.
You can't see it, but I can feel it.
One of the actors is named Peter Coyote. That's his name.
Do you know what that movie's about?
Overboard.
She has, like, there's something wrong with her.
51st Dates?
He's like no, she has cancer in high school. And she starts tutoring him, and she's like, there's only one rule. You can't fall in love with me. And guess what happens? They fall in love, and then they get married, and then she dies.
Overboard?
Yeah. And
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell?
Oh, I heard that it's really bad.
Never saw it. Well, it just got remade. So that it might be the remake you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Marshall directed this movie. So Hector Elizondo was in. Dirty Dancing, number 12.
Excuse me.
You should feel guilty because there's an abortion in that movie. Vote.
It's implied.
Ella Enchanted.
Ew. What?
I never saw this movie.
That movie's for babies.
I never saw that movie. Pretty Woman, number 10. A lot of Gary Marshall on here.
I was never allowed to watch that movie because there's a blowjob in it. So
oh, God.
We did watch Dirty Dancing with the illegal abortion.
You watched Dirty Dancing in The Bodyguard.
Nothing happens in The Bodyguard.
There's a stalker and murder, and like it's very suspenseful.
So we also watched Selena a lot, and there's a stalker and a murderer.
I've never seen Selena. I didn't see The Bodyguard or Dirty Dancing until I met you.
Okay, I'll give you those. How do you have cable?
I don't think I've ever seen
life.
I don't know that I've ever seen Pretty Woman beginning to end.
It's not. It's My Fair Lady.
I'm aware of what it is. I just never seen it.
Like
number 9, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Stop it. I can't eat in front of you.
Number 8, The Holiday.
Rude.
Number 7, Enchanted.
I don't think people understand. Why do you feel guilty about this? Easy A, you should feel guilty about.
Why?
You should feel guilty about.
Why?
That. It's a movie about high school students having sex.
That movie is good. Stanley Tucci is a tour de force in that movie.
It's just a girl who fakes having sex with people. You upvote it because you should feel guilty.
Amanda Bynes, forgot she was in that movie. Penn Badgley. The Proposal, number 5.
No, I don't feel guilty about that.
The Princess Diaries is number 4.
I don't feel guilty about that.
13 going on 30 is number 3.
Stop it.
10 Things I Hate About You is number 2. Want to take a guess at number 1? I haven't seen it yet. You want to take a guess?
Can you give me a hint?
You're never going to guess it.
Oh.
You're never going to guess it.
Is it a movie I've seen?
Yes.
Do I love it?
I don't
Mamma
know.
Mia 2.
I don't know your feelings on it.
Oh.
Is Mamma Mia 2 a romantic comedy?
I mean, if the first one was.
Yeah, but it's a whole different storyline in this.
Oh, because the second one, she's just having a baby.
Yeah, she's not getting married.
Well, the mom's just fucking around.
The mom is dead.
No, the young mom's fucking around.
Yeah, but you're not watching her love story.
Yeah, you are. You're
not. You're watching her fuck 3 dudes. Then it's still the premise of like, I don't know who the fucking dad is.
No, it's they decide that all 3 of them are.
Even though one of them's gay.
So, well, I mean, he wasn't gay at the time. So.
The best song in that second movie. I mean, Fernando was the best song in the second movie, but his
No, it's not.
Waterloo. How dare you? Fernando, Andy Garcia, and Cher are the best part of Mamma Mia 2.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
The best line.
What's her name? Cher's character's name.
Ruby!
Screams it across the party. And what is his name? I don't know what his name is.
Fernando.
Well, no, this is saying his. No, it's his last name.
Yeah.
Though. Because they never say his name until the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
They do not say what his first name
Yeah.
is.
Well, because you don't know.
Because she says it.
She says Fernando.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh.
They're all calling him like Mr. Rodriguez or whatever the fuck his name is. Like whatever his like oddly kind of racist last name is.
Yeah, I forget.
Which is weird because they're clearly in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're like really harping on the fact that he's Mexican, which I guess people should have seen from the beginning. But then he yells to Cher, and then she's like, Fernando? And I'm like, oh my God.
I think the notion is that like they're in Greece, but where they are is a big tourist
there's
area.
tons of people. Tons of people from all over the place there.
Yeah, because they know her. She's American.
Yeah, they know her.
Well, because the mom's American.
Yeah, when she was also a huge superstar, so it's people that know her mom and her family.
Not really.
Yes, she was. Donna and the Dynamos were like a big thing. That was the whole point of that movie.
Yeah,
that's why she owns a hotel in Greece. You think she just bought that?
She didn't. She was gifted it.
Yeah, but my point is, never mind.
I think that they're not as big as you think they are.
I think the movie alludes that they're a big deal.
No, I because like when they leave college, they're playing in like that shitty bar, and then she's pregnant.
I don't know. The first movie makes it seem like they were a huge deal. The second movie really downplays it.
Yeah.
But the first movie made it seem like they were doing a hell of a lot more than what the second movie
I don't know.
There's a lot of inconsistencies in the storyline of Donna and the Dynamos. I mean, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the storyline of Donna from the first movie to the second movie.
Correct. Her sex life doesn't make any sense because she doesn't take any of those men to the little island that they talk about in the first movie. And the men are out of order.
I'm sorry. The microphone.
She meets them all out of order in the second one from the first. It's like the people who made the second one didn't even watch the first one.
It's the same people. It's still produced. It's still produced by Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson.
Did you not read the diary from the first one? We already know who she fucked in what order. So why are you now she's meeting the gay one before the other ones? It doesn't work.
We'll do a separate episode on Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2.
I'll gladly rewatch them.
Because I would love to rank the musical numbers in those movies. Like
Dancing Queen's number one.
Both collectively. Is it?
Well,
which one?
Just in terms of the impact, both of them. The impact in the movies, Dancing Queen is like the epitome.
When did it happen in the first movie? The very end?
No, it's in the middle. It's like the whole when they're getting ready for the wedding and then everyone jumps in the water. In the first one. And then in the second one.
So that's not when they jump in the water.
The dudes jump in the water when they're saying, "Don't go worse than your emotions."
Yeah. The first one has a lot of.
The Dancing Queen.
I don't care for the sexual tone of the first movie in some of the music videos, in some of the scenes.
And then
there are some scenes where I'm like, this is a bit uncomfortable for me.
And then in the second one, it's when everybody's coming.
It's the boats. It's like 3 cruise ships full of people dancing at the same time.
Full of fishermen. It's like, where did those people come from?
And Colin Firth.
Love them so much.
Is it 3 boats? No, because it's 2 because Pierce Brosnan is already on the island. But I think Stellan Skarsgård and Colin Firth have their own boats. Mm-hmm. And they're like giant cruise ships. It's very strange.
Well, because they're like fishing boats because it's the fishermen that they get on the pier. It's like, oh, we're so sad because we can't find any work.
But are they fishing boats? Because I feel like they're multiple level ships because they're bringing the guests.
No, they're bringing the fishermen.
No, it's the guests for the wedding. That's the second movie. Dancing Queen is the guests for the wedding arriving. It's not the wedding. Whatever.
No, it's not. Because the whole thing is they couldn't fly in because of the big storm. So there's all the airports are closed. So the people they bring are the fishermen that are just sitting at that pier getting drunk.
I don't remember.
Then they bring.
I just feel like in my mind, I remember them being gigantic, like cruise ship level ships, but not fishing boats. Because I'm pretty sure
fishermen.
I'm pretty sure there were multiple levels.
They're just bringing the fishermen,
but whatever.
Because they're like, oh, there's no press, and
but whatever.
We could only get this shitty band.
It's not Mamma Mia. Here we go again. It's not that. Which shame on anybody who doesn't pronounce it that way.
I think everyone does.
I enjoyed that movie. Just the idea that you made a second Mamma Mia.
Well, because it's the lyric.
I'm aware of what it is.
Here we
but
go
you had to have known people were going to pronounce it like Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Like
I don't care. You can shit all over as much as you want.
I liked it. I
love them.
Yeah, I'm aware. I took you drunk to that movie, and you fucking sat there. And the second Cher gets off the helicopter, you're like, I bet you should Steven sing. And I'm like, why the fuck would she be in this movie and not sing?
Well, and at the time we didn't realize she was releasing an ABBA covers album.
I don't think anybody did.
Had we known
It wasn't
that,
until after the movie came out that she announced that.
had we known that, then we would have been like, well, of course she's singing.
I mean, it's Cher in a musical. Of course she's gonna sing. I don't think she was even in the movie yet. You're like, I bet you should have been singing.
And then the second she stands up there,
she's gonna come out and she's gonna say some shit and she's gonna leave.
The second he recognizes her, I'm like, Jesus Christ, his first name is Fernando. Like, before she doesn't even need to say it.
It's so good.
It's so blatantly
I
obvious.
loved it. It was the best scene in that whole movie.
He sings Fernando with her, where he basically just like mumbles a few words.
He does what Faith Hill does in like the Faith Hill Tim McGraw duos.
Yeah, where it's just,
where she's just doing background vocals.
He barely.
He is,
and he's just talking.
He is. It's the best scene in the whole movie. That scene and then Waterloo are the two best scenes.
Where she's like, I think my soulmate might be carbs, and then the other lady's like, I think mine is wine. I'm like, that's me.
Was that the second movie?
Yeah, that's me right there. Yeah.
Christ, you were Christine Baranski in both those movies.
In all of her movies.
I only really know off the top of my head Mamma Mia too.
Well, she was in Bad Moms Christmas.
Oh yes, she was the mom. She's what's her name's mom,
and she plays Leonard's mom on.
Well, and it was funnier because is it the first movie they do?
Chickatee. Oh, her song where she's singing to that young guy.
Does your mother know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like
Preach.
Like under 18.
Preach. He's definitely not. That man is an adult.
They're 20.
That man is an adult.
They're all.
But anyways,
20.
it's not on Mia. Here we go again.
Can you give me a hint?
It came out in 1987.
80?
87. 1987.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is Pretty in Pink?
No.
The Breakfast Club?
No.
Is it that guy?
No, it's not. John Hughes. It's Rob Reiner.
Who's in it?
It is 100%. This is the epitome of I don't understand why this is on a guilty pleasures list. Mandy Patinkin.
The Princess Bride?
The Princess Bride. I'm like, who can I tell you that's not going to immediately give it away? But
why is that on a romantic comedy list, though?
Because it is.
Yeah, but it's a comedy.
The whole point of that movie is Carrie Elves and Robin Wright getting together. It's a romantic comedy.
Yeah, but barely.
What do you mean barely?
I don't know.
That's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, but like it's more of a comedy than it is a romance. No one's watching that for the romance.
I think it's more of a romance than it is a comedy.
I've only seen it once. It doesn't do it for me. I watched it once. It is what it is.
Oh my God, that movie is so good. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I just think it's overrated.
What?
I don't want to watch it all the time.
Excuse me? How dare you, madam?
I don't know. Andre the Giant's in it. That's where you lose me.
How dare you? Excuse me?
I love him. That's the only reason I would watch it.
It's such a great movie.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it though?
It is.
Or is that just what people are telling you?
No. I know firsthand. I own it on DVD.
Just because people quote it a lot doesn't mean it's good.
It's fantastic.
But I just don't. If I'm thinking like romantic comedies, that's not on the list.
No, I think if you're thinking of romantic comedy, that's not the first thing that comes to mind.
You're thinking of like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
You're thinking of rom-coms. Yeah, what you're thinking of.
That's what that means. I'm thinking of a romantic comedy.
I think this it is a romantic comedy, but I would they're not different, but I would quantify The Princess Bride as a romantic comedy. I would not quantify it as a rom-com.
It doesn't belong on here.
I think it does.
It doesn't.
Get out of here.
Down. Get down.
How dare you? Gone. How dare you?
It should go down. You can't upvote it because it's number one.
Yeah, you can. And that just cements it for one.
I mean, sure, then if you're looking for a romantic comedy and you go to The Princess Bride, you should feel guilty about that.
You shouldn't. Shame on you.
I just don't.
Shame on you for not liking that movie more than you do.
What's weird is, 50 Shades Freed was on there.
And not a single other movie.
We did not see the other two.
I just realized that when you said it.
They're also not romantic movies.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, we didn't see the other two of those.
It's not romantic. It's not romance. It's like a smut.
Well, they fall in love, I guess, is the point.
One of them does.
That's the point of a romance, part of the romantic. Well, it's also not. They're not comedies.
There's no comedy in those movies.
Oh, I guess you could call it a comedy because of how horrible they are. It's a comedy in like how The Room is a comedy.
It's a comedy in that
because it wasn't, and then Tommy Wiseau years later was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely intended it to be super funny." And people were like, "No, you fucking did. Don't lie."
Yeah.
Another movie I really don't want to watch, but I do want to watch.
Maybe the second one has more funny. Maybe the third one. I mean, it has more funny parts. But
I only
that's the
saw
one
the
where she
first
almost
one.
dies.
I only saw the first one because I saw the first one in theaters with you when we were still. Well, no, I was out of a relationship. You were still in a relationship, and
It wasn't good.
Emily asked me to go and told me that I could invite you if I wanted to, and I did. And you were still in a relationship, and we left that movie, and there was like sexual tension so thick that you could have cut it with a goddamn steak knife. Like it was palpable. We left that movie to the point of we just stood in the parking lot for like 45 minutes. It's not longer. I don't know how long we stood in that parking lot just listening to music on my phone.
It's such a weird movie. First of all, it's a weird movie to see in theaters.
What was the first one? So you didn't know.
I did know because I did read the books.
Yeah, but you never know how they're going to turn out from the books. I mean, banger soundtrack.
All three of them.
But
all three of them have phenomenal soundtracks.
Love Me Like You Do like took over the world when that movie came out.
I don't think the other two have like an original song. But they all have like such like well selected. Like the soundtrack by itself is great, and then when you watch the movie, it fits so well. But the third one's where it's like she almost dies, so I feel like that one has the least amount of comedy.
I don't know.
And the second one, I think, is where he almost dies.
They just did the first one on How Did This Get Made, and I really want to listen to it.
I will, because I just rewatched them.
But that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us. If you're listening to this, please rate and review and make sure you're subscribed wherever you're getting your podcasts. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I don't know if I still do the bell or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
but just subscribe and just subscribe so you're aware of when we put out these new episodes every Tuesday. At least we try to do every Tuesday. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything coming up that I was going to say we should talk about. I feel like there was, but I don't remember. Oh, we didn't talk about Usher, but we don't really need to. It was phenomenal.
Everyone loves it. I haven't seen any negative.
You should watch. If you didn't watch the Super Bowl, you should go on YouTube because they have the whole halftime show up on YouTube.
And then you can be like Tony and just listen to Yeah on repeat.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should acknowledge, because I did put an Instagram post about it.
Oh, that you have no facial hair?
Well, let's not talk about that. That I shaved the sides of my head. If you know me, you know that this is not a new hairstyle for me.
Well, if they saw our wedding
if you
picture,
see, well, I think the picture.
I don't know if you can tell.
The podcast logo on podcasting platforms is pictures from our wedding where I had a mohawk, so it's not really that jarring. This is jarring. This is jarring to me.
Well, but I think from the yeah.
For those wondering, I did not, because in the post I put like one was a very intended thing and the other one was a very unwanted and unintended thing, and it was this, and it was that what I described to her, she took. So this was supposed to be gone. The sides were supposed to be gone. She took this too short. So what my mustache currently is what this was, and I hated it, and it was uneven down here. And I just couldn't stand it, and I got rid of it. And I hate when people. So, as an artist, when you're being taught how to draw, they tell you to start with basic shapes. And it's always just draw a circle for the head. That's what my face is. My face is just a circle.
You just have a very round head.
What I have in common with Rhett McLaughlin from Good Mythical Morning is very few and far between, but one thing we do have in common is that neither one of us has a chin. He talks about it a lot. I don't have a chin. From the side, I might. From the side, I might have a bit more shape.
I
But from
wonder
the front, there's nothing there.
if like
It goes right into my neck.
that's why.
Don't care for it.
Like,
I also didn't realize till she shaved it how far down the hair comes on my beard. Because it's right above my Adam's
but like,
apple.
so Rhett doesn't have a chin, and he looks very natural with facial hair.
Yeah.
You don't have a chin. It looks very natural to have
because
facial hair.
the beard shapes your face.
My dad's like face shape is very similar. Where like not much of like a jawline.
Yeah.
And it looks weird when he shaves. Like facial hair looks very natural. So like,
yeah,
is that
because when you have a round face, the facial hair helps define
because it gives you a jaw.
It gives you a jaw that is not there,
or like a line. It gives you the lines that you feel like you don't have.
And like, do you think that the kind of beard I usually have also elongates my face?
Yeah, right. It gives you more of an oval.
Yeah.
Do you think like that's how it is with everyone?
No, because there are men that look better without a beard. No.
So like men who look better with a beard. Do you think it's because they have like no definition?
Yeah.
It's not a matter of just like.
I mean, well, I will say this. I will say on record, I don't think you can look worse with a beard if you're maintaining it. Like, you can get it all fucking Robin Williams at the beginning of Jumanji and look like absolute shit.
Yeah, right.
But like, if you are maintaining a nice beard, I don't think a man on earth can look bad with facial hair. I do think you can look bad without facial hair. Exhibit A.
What if you always shaved? Or like, do you think like biologically you could have your face shape and like you just can't grow facial hair?
If you have alopecia.
But like, there's a lot of guys who like just don't grow facial hair.
Yeah.
Do you think there's men out there like with your facial shape who like, oh, I would look better with a beard, I just can't grow it?
Probably.
That's very unfortunate.
Well, it's also.
But then, like, do they look unnatural?
But there's also the question of like, can you not grow it, or does it grow in like mine? Because mine does grow in very patchy, which there again comes into the question of like, is it a matter of you can't or you won't? Because if you can, but it's patchy, you can have a goatee. Like, there are things you can do to make it look more presentable.
But like some guys
I have
just
a patch.
have like
I'm pretty sure right here,
like a baby face.
I'm pretty sure right here I have a patch of hair that does not, like, there's no hair growth here. Right here where my finger pointed is. There's no hair there.
A little bit. It's a tiny bit.
There's some here. There's like none right here. Yeah. I can feel how smooth my skin is there. And the rest of it around it is scruff. But I don't know. It'll be back. You'll watch it slowly come back over the course of the next couple episodes.
Yeah, next time we record, we'll do a facial hair update.
We'll get the tape measure out. But thank you for joining us. As always, I don't think we have anything else coming up. Nothing else really to talk about. I mean, we don't have time to talk about anything else tonight. But thank you for joining us once again. We love you, as always, and thank you for being a friend.